John to start.
What? This has been sprung on me at the last cooking second.
Was that it? After this many years, we haven't done one of these.
I assumed we were going to begin with I assumed I was going to roll up, and you were going to, in the way that you sometimes did in the old podcast, say, I've got this really elaborate opening planned. Matt, I'm going to need a sound effect of a trombone and an umbrella being opened and a dog being molested by a giraffe. Just arrange all that for me, and then I'll do a bit.
John, since the last podcast, Daniel has turned 30.
Oh no! How poor and ancient.
He's turned 30 and written a book. I mean, John, with all due respect...
Since the last podcast, I've had a hip replacement, alright? He doesn't understand what old age is. You don't know whether I'm joking or not. You had to think for a second whether I might be telling the truth there.
Didn't have to think. I assumed, you're that old. I've met you, John. I know exactly...
For literally 2 minutes.
2 minutes of what?
Wait, what?
Meeting John. Sorry, I completely got lost.
You were running away for a train at the time. Then me and Matt had a lovely time. We had food at Five Guys. It's really nice.
Then I went and met Ashton and he gave me a book.
I'm a vegetarian now, John.
That's a shame.
What was that?
I just for a minute, I just kind of thought about a life without pig in it, and I just couldn't.
No, he's not only is he vegetarian, but he also can't eat any dairy.
Oh yeah, because Ashton's has made me lactose intolerant.
Interesting. Actually, I assume there's good substitutes now. Like, is substitute meat actually pretty good now?
Yeah, it's fucking nice.
Because it used to be terrible.
Yeah.
Corn's amazing.
Nah, corn's shit. But the other ones are good. I like Beyond Burgers. They taste like burgers. And
anyway, welcome back to the video game podcast.
When did we say it was about video games?
This has never been about video games.
It was kind of about video games.
Shut the fuck up, John. No, it's not.
No, seriously though, when have we ever spoken about a video game other than Hitman on this
I was literally about to do, we do have Hitman news, but you beat me to it.
You also don't, because that series is dead now.
No, it's not. Do you have any idea how much they're still releasing? We're only 5/7 of the way through the 7 Deadly Sins DLC in Hitman 3.
Wow, so exciting.
There's still 2/7 of it to come.
I'm
not joking. That sounds like I'm taking the piss, but I'm not. That's actually true.
John, he's gonna keep going on about it if you don't let him. He's prepared the bit.
It's not a bit.
It's a bit.
I knew you'd prepare a bit. I knew you'd prepare a bit.
No, for the last days, we're like, I'm going to talk about the thing we did.
I'm so excited because this is just so. It's just such a great way of seeing sort of how Matt is. I took Matt to a spa.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a spa.
That's lovely.
He had a spa day. Yeah, because I go to a spa because I got CFS and the hydrotherapy shit helps me sort of move stuff. And I was like, I'll take Matt. You know what Matt didn't do the entire time he was at a spa?
He didn't get a massage, even though that's the big thing you get done?
No, he didn't get wet.
What?
He didn't get wet.
Including getting sweaty in like a sauna?
He didn't go to sauna. He sat outside doing nothing.
Well, what do you mean outside? You mean
I sat in a nice big chair, nice big and comfy next to a load of trees, and enjoyed myself.
You didn't want a single massage or anything? Did you get a massage? Didn't you get wet for that?
I tried to get a massage, but they didn't have any slots.
They saw Matt and went, no, thank you. Don't want that. No, don't touch that.
Is this like an Irish thing? Do you guys melt if you get wet?
I just didn't want to get wet. What's wrong with getting wet?
John, you're confusing the Irish and the Wicked Witch of the West.
I don't like swimming. I don't like jacuzzi. What's wrong
with that? Well, islands to the west.
Thing.
You can understand how I'd make the confusion.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. fucking Brit. That's fucking all gang up on the Irishmen.
John, I assume, based on your accent, you frequent spas often.
Not as much as I'd like to. They are lovely.
I bet you're all dressing gown and big slippers, sort of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'd be straight in there. The sauna, I particularly like, me and Claire in particular. We both like the sometimes you get like the big ass bucket full of cold water for like the cold drench.
Yes,
we like that, but the only reason we like it is because the deal is I get to do it to Claire, then she gets to do it to me. So we just get to make each other suffer, and that's where the enjoyment comes.
That sounds like a really healthy spa day, doesn't it? Let's make each other suffer. That's how we do it.
Imagine going to a spa and staying dry.
It is weird.
How do you even manage that?
I had a lovely time.
It put his swimming trunks on.
No, I didn't put my swimming trunks on. You made me put my swimming trunks on.
You could have had one of them fake massages, like a scalp massage.
Right? No, I need to point something out, right? Rebecca bought me swimming trunks, specifically because I didn't have any, and I kept saying I don't want to get wet, so Rebecca buys me swimming trunks. Rebecca's looking at me, giving me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And then...
Wait, how many people are in this room? Like, I feel like really lonely right now. Like, you're constantly just introducing more people in the background. And then there was Ashes. Ashes is over there in the corner.
No, Rebecca's over there. Daniel's here. I'm here. Lilith's here. Hey, Lilith. And Matilda's sleeping in the corner.
It's just me in here. I don't have anybody.
Oh, now you know how it feels, John. Now you know how the desert bus feels. Now you know how the fucking everything feels. Where you and Daniel are like, I can get our fucking wives to bring us food. And I'm sat there like,
Yeah.
Don't tell Claire about my wife, she'll be annoyed.
It's basically enough.
Have you been pouring cold buckets of water at the other women?
Literally, though.
I've missed this, you know. The podcast left a hole in my life.
Matt wanted to sit there in just clothes.
No, I didn't.
You did. You were like, do I have to wear that? You weren't going to have your cock out, were you?
So, no, with all due respect, Danny got into the changing room, looked at me, and aggressively took all of his clothes off.
I didn't. I can't aggressively remove clothing.
No,
I can do it.
What way was he facing at the time?
He was looking straight into my eyes.
Maybe he was looking, but was he full facing? Was he looking at you with the other eye too?
Yes.
Oh.
But I do have
Dan, that might have been too far.
He didn't get his cock out, if that's what you're wondering. Which related, though, Daniel.
How did you get into a swimming... Wait, what? How?
I had trunks on before you go, John. Magic, innit? You get, boom, straight in the ball.
That's odd.
How is that odd? Oh, I'm sorry you're from the south, where fucking the idea of wearing...
I am not from the south, I'm from the Midlands.
That's the south.
I'm from the bit that the north calls the south and the south calls the north.
Yeah, the reject. That's what you're from. Nobody wants it. The unloved middle bit of England, which is quite near the south. But no, I quite like the feel
It's not that close to the south. We're so close to Yorkshire.
Look, I'm just... Right. Swimming trunks when you're on the train. It's a good feel. It's a good vibe. What? Instead of pants. It's got the little mesh in it. Do you not like the mesh?
I mean, I like the mesh. I was quite comfortable.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the sort of thing the police should challenge you on. Like, sir, I'm going to have to give you a quick stop and search to make sure you're not wearing swimming wear underneath your clothes.
Two
that's
things,
weird.
Right? One, it's not the only thing I was wearing. And two, if it was, it wouldn't be much to stop and search, would there? It'd be like, yep, you're fine.
Oh, you're wearing slightly larger underwear.
I'm not wearing budgie
I think if I
smugglers.
knew someone I knew was like, they walked around in public with swimming wear underneath their clothes, I wouldn't want that person to like be a babysitter to my nieces or nephews.
It's a normal thing. That's the work of a mental.
So, but legitimately, out of all the things you've ever said, John, that's the most upper class thing. Like the disgust of wearing swimming trunks under pants. I can't believe you make such a faux pas.
What? Underpants? Sorry, hang on. Was the full underwear sandwich trunks, underwear, then trousers?
No, I said under pants. Under space.
Oh, you were using Americanized pants.
No, pants is an appropriate phrase. Pants for trousers, trousers are pants. They're both the same thing.
No, that's American.
That's American.
That's American.
I don't give a fuck. It's the right way.
It's not the right way.
It's why
we have the word trousers, and
No,
it's the funniest word
pants-
in the English language.
Pants is correct. Aluminum is correct.
Leicester.
Good old Leicester.
Good old Leicester. You're from the Midlands. Leicester, yes or no?
Absolutely, and very close by to Luga Baruga.
Lovely bit of James Acaster referencing then.
Everyone loves Luga Baruga.
Everyone loves Luga Baruga.
It's my favourite place. So, John,
yes.
I had a question.
I have a question. Well,
is it about video games?
No,
I think it's answered already in the context of what's going on.
Oh, good
Just
lord!
in the changing room.
Yes.
Just nudity is fine. Yes, you could you go take things off, put things on.
Yes, but as a matter of politeness, you would turn your back to other people as best as you could.
I've got a particularly nice arse. I like to give people the best side of me.
I need to just say something here. When Daniel said that, he said nudity's fine, right? Just get your cock out. He stared at me. He looked at me and he looked at me right in the eyes. And he's like, yeah, Matt. I'm going to flop my cock out. Daniel, literally 2 days ago, he walked into the living room and he went, whoops, I almost flopped my cock out. Didn't you, Daniel?
You've been here too long.
It's a strange thing to do almost by accident, I'll give you.
I've lived with just my wife for too long.
He walked into the room, he started putting his hands down his pants, he went, whoops, I almost flopped my cock out, and then didn't.
Look, we've all changed because of the pandemic. And we've all
yeah,
just...
I think it sounds like you've devolved more than most.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I did, but I think it's interesting. You know, I would imagine you for never nude.
A what?
You've got never nude energy.
Is this a thing? Is this a cultural movement I'm unfamiliar with?
People who are just never nude. Wear swimming trunks in the shower.
Well, they have to be nude sometimes. They have to
showers.
take the swimming trunks off to put on new swimming trunks to wash the old swimming trunks or whatever.
Keep a sock on or something.
This feels like a really kind of elaborate magic trick, like pulling a tablecloth out, managing to somehow never let your genitals access the open air in case they flee off into the window.
Yeah, but I just assume. I think people in comments wherever this is will be going. No, I assume John has never been nude in his life before.
You know, the people in the comments on my side will be like, "My goodness, the standard has dropped a lot. The tone is rather low today. Where's our discussion? Where's the discussion of classical history?"
See, previously, you've been able to get away with this because it's been on the NerdCube channel, been able to sort of distance yourself, but now it's on your own channel. You've got to take responsibility for it.
Yeah. What I'm going to be really interested in is I want to compare the comments that you get under your version of this versus the comments I get under my version. Because I want you to know my usual patron cast thing. I get questions like, John, do you think history would have gone a different way had this thing in the ancient world occurred differently? And I expect that I'm not just taking the piss out of myself there. This happens. This is the thing that happens. You get proper alternate history exposition
John,
in mine.
You're just saying that your audience is on the level of Marvel's What If.
But like... I quite like What If. It's good. Shut up.
I'm not quite enjoying it as well. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, but that's your level. All right, it's good to know.
The last one wasn't so good. I didn't really enjoy episode 6.
Killmonger.
It just sort of ended. Like it kind of felt like it should have had.
Zombies just fucking ended.
That's true. 2 of them in a row have just sort of ended. Like the previous ones felt like they had an end point that vaguely made sense, but the 2 in a row of them just sort of like, well, that's it. We ran out of time. Sorry, I ran out of paper to do the animation with. I only bought this many sheets of paper for the animation, so I guess that's the end of it. I guess that's the end of it.
Are they not building towards the final episode being sort of an Avengers type, bringing characters from each episode together to fight a big multiversal threat?
I guess so, but then why did the previous episodes have actual endings, or at least felt slightly more like one?
Yeah. I mean, I like the Doctor Strange. I do like how the Watcher started off like this distant, ethereal being, and now he's just pressing his window against the atmosphere. Pressing his window? Pressing his eyes. Got confused, and he's just like, "Hey, you guys should kiss." Just every shot, he's just closer. He just starts slapping people around eventually. He's like,
guys, am I a celestial? I don't know what I am canonically.
Okay, I keep having a small snake shoved in my testicles.
I've told you!
Lilith.
Lilith is being all up in our business right now. I got a puppy. It's called Lilith.
Oh.
It's a piece of shit. We don't need to care about it. That's the end of that. It.
Wow.
Yeah, it. You.
Since last time.
Fuck you.
What time since last time? Since last time, you've put out a book. You've got a new book.
How long ago was the last time?
Well, technically, we tried to bring the PodCats back once before, but it was kind of like, putting the resuscitation panels on it. You got one jerk and spasm, and the heart rate meant to go boop once, and then it's the flat line continues.
Jerk and spasm was Matt's nickname in high school.
We officially we got one episode out in 2019, and we announced it was back, and then it wasn't.
Oh god, it's pre-pandemic. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I know. It was pre-pandemic, and then I did a New Year's Eve live stream at the end of 2019, where I went on record saying I think 2020 is going to be a really good year.
Can we just address something here? We finished the first season of the PodCats before Trump was elected. Then the second season we did after he was out of office. Then we did another break during a global pandemic.
This is season 4. That's what I've decided. This is the start of season 4. This is the Patreon era.
And lest we forget, all the measurements will be in imperial measurements.
Oh, fuck that bullshit. It's not going to happen.
Should we potentially be
thinking anything but tens?
Should we be worried that we stopped doing the PodCats, then Trump happened, then Trump, was got rid of, and then the PodCats restarted. Then we stopped the PodCats again, then straight afterwards COVID happened. Should we be concerned that potentially there's some form of, Lara Croft Tomb Raider style thing where if we don't do the PodCats, the world explodes? And we have to keep doing it.
We should keep doing the PodCats, then.
We just have to keep doing the PodCats, because if we stop, something really bad will happen.
Yeah.
There'll be a massive flood that's really badly explained by the modern Tomb Raider games or something. But somehow an ancient temple, if you take a knife out of a plinth, the world blows up. And no one really ever explains how or why.
Yeah. I think, fuck it. Let's end it now. Let's see what happens.
What? No! God, no!
Aliens!
If we keep doing this now, then what's going to happen is COVID's going to be over. We can stop it. We can stop it, guys.
Can we take credit for stopping it?
Yes,
I'll put
we
it
can.
on the CV.
We can.
Nice.
We
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
can.
I got a blood clot, didn't I? That happened.
Matt, do you want to tell your story?
I got the AstraZeneca vaccine. It gave me a blood clot. I'm fine now.
Are you?
Are you?
Still blood thinners.
He's not. He died. This is an AI representation VR tuber version
Okay,
of Matt.
here's a question, John. What vaccine did you get?
Pfizer. I was a Pfizer.
You got Pfizer, Dan?
I had to think for a
Anti-vax.
second because Claire was
Yeah.
Moderna.
Oh.
I know. It means our 5G signals aren't actually compatible.
It's like when if you put you've got your neighbours on the same Wi-Fi bandwidth as you.
Exactly. So if Claire and I actually go near each other, we give each other headaches now
Well,
because
see,
the
this
signals.
is my problem.
Yeah.
I got AstraZeneca and Pfizer, so that means I'm broken
That's broken.
completely.
I'm
I
not
mean, I feel like instead, if you now just
I wanna
managed to
point
just
that out.
lie and got to one of those buses that gives out injection on the day, and they would give you Moderna, it'd be like Thanos with getting a new Infinity Stone
That's
on the
what I
gauntlet.
literally keep saying.
Yeah.
Because I've got to go get a booster. My doctor was like, "Get the booster, you fucking idiot." I
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, I'll get the booster."
I feel
So
like
I'm
if
gonna
you
see
manage
what
to
I
get all three, then you kind of like Thanos with all the stones. At that
go
point, you
collect
must
them
have
I
superpowers.
genuinely want Moderna for the
Yeah.
third. I genuinely would love Moderna.
I want to get shiny. I've got normal one so far. I'd like to
Lilith,
get a
I'm
shiny
gonna
one.
throw that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Lilith,
shove
you
that.
need to. Lilith is literally just smashing this toy into our legs, being like, "Hey, you guys, what are you doing? It looks fun."
You know, at some
Puppies.
point, I mean, we probably should have done it at the beginning. We should probably explain what this is. Because there's going to
The
be people...
podcast, John. John, oh no, have you burned off your pills again?
Yeah,
Yes.
some people don't...
Yes, tell John what we're doing.
Some people might have joined either of our Patreons since the last...
Okay, wait.
John, hang on, let me just check my YouTube analytics. No one has.
You know what? I got an email. I got
Okay,
an
someone
email
might have
last
joined
month.
my channel since the last podcast.
John, literally, I got an email last month that's like, here's your creator roundup, and it's for the YouTube chat. It's like, how many new subscribers? It literally had the number 0.
Does it not give you the minus? Oh, that's
No,
a shame.
it cannot go minus, it just says 0. But here's the thing, John, right?
Yeah.
If you want, okay, to John's channel and audience, because I feel if you're still here on NerdCube site, you know what this is. To John's channel, if you don't know what this is, go fuck yourself, you fucking piece of shit. Cunt!
Oh, for
Whoa.
fuck's sake.
Whoa.
Fuck's sake.
Throwing shade. Throwing shade. Oh, has it got dark in here? Or did somebody just throw some fucking shade?
Back in 2015, me, Matt, and Dad, Dan's NerdCubed, by the way, and Matt's Matophobia, FYI. We
I'm
did
an
a
action figure, John. Have you seen?
He is.
I'd have. I wouldn't mind one of them.
Are you going to buy one? Are you going to come on it and put it on Pornhub?
Excuse me?
What?
No, but I am going to have my own action figure at some point. We're going to.
Aw.
Me and Claire have
Oh,
been
it's gonna be
discussing.
an egg pop.
But ours are going to be
Very
action.
simple,
Ours are going to be soft cuddlies, not like action figures.
What, a soft cuddly of an egg carton?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be soft cuddly egg carton. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that already exists.
Yeah, but we're gonna have it's gonna have googly eyes and little kind of stringy arms and legs. It's gonna be great. We're working
Yeah,
on the
I'm pretty sure that
prototype
already
now.
exists.
What?
I'm pretty sure that already exists.
Yeah, but is it to the same Star Wars scale? Can you fit it inside a Millennium Falcon?
I don't think it
my
would be
one-
to our standard because
my one fits in
we
my
have very exacting standards for our merchandise.
Oh, do you?
Yes, we've been
What
trying for
merchandise do you make,
years.
John?
What?
What merchandise do you make?
Literally right now, just a t-shirt and a mug because we've desperately been trying for years to come up with a coach set. But every time any supplier sends us samples, they're shit and they're not good enough and I don't like them.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know what much we do.
We still do merch.
Do we?
We're Game T.
We're GameT. www.gamet.game.co.uk.
Slash game.
1,000 years. Game.
Dash game. Game.
No,
Nerd
it's
game.
T.
GameCube.
Advertising. You did it. Well done.
Yeah. What? Wait, you're introducing things. I was like, I haven't actually figured out.
No, I
This
just
was
called
a
it on
podcast we did in 2015 into 2016. Then there was a
That's a
gap.
while ago.
Then
Fucking hell.
2019. Then there was a gap, and now it's back. And if you're here, what?
Wait, were you
I'll say
married when the
hooray.
podcast started?
2015? No. Married in 2016. That was on my wedding vow. I wasn't allowed to do it anymore.
Yeah, Rebecca really doesn't like us doing this, do you, Rebecca?
Rebecca hates John.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Every time, fucking John, what a bitch.
What do you think of John?
I think John's lovely.
Wanker.
Yay!
Bloody hell, that's strong language. Did you hear that? Wanker.
That's not what was said.
Oh,
You're so mean. This is why we stopped doing them. You're so mean.
See, you can't be that mean to me while I'm in.
Do you have any idea how wholesome my channel is next to this shit?
Yeah, I know, but I go on your channel and it's like, oh, here's a new video, 8 hours long. I'm like, John, who are these people who are you making videos for? And why are there more of them than there are of mine?
I've been cutting down the length, actually. Today, I literally was aggressively... Claire gave me, like, the first draft of an edit that was now 15. It was like, no, nothing over an hour. We're getting it under an hour, so I had to hack 15. I had 20 minutes out of a video and it was still making sense afterwards.
Oh, yeah, they are under an
Oh
hour.
my god, they're under an hour. I mean, under an hour, 59 minutes, 54 minutes, 57 minutes, 55 minutes.
The one I finished today was 59 minutes and 57 seconds.
The same fucking people who were like, oh, we don't have time to watch a 10 minutes of Nerdcubed a week, and the same people were like, oh, I love 10 hours of John a week. Fuck you.
Yeah, because I'm me.
Fuck you,
Yay.
John. You can't even play Subnautica right.
What? I completed Subnautica. It was great.
I completed Subnautica. I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't keen.
Why? Because it was just... What about it? What was wrong with that?
So I got lost a lot.
Yeah.
And I found it boring. That's it.
Right.
I think it's a game about atmosphere in a way, rather than actually finding things.
No, you're underwater. The atmosphere's not important.
I'd say it's very much about atmosphere. Like, there was quite a few atmospheres pressure by the time you get down to the very bottom of it.
Yeah, you go to the bottom and it's like, oh, look, it's pitch black.
Then there's even more atmosphere. Yeah, there's so much atmosphere down there.
And
like
then
7 of them.
your submarine's like, there's some big fuck out here, and you go, all right, go now. And then that was it.
It just ends weirdly. It feels like they made a map of the game and went, shit, we don't know what to do with this.
Well, isn't that kind of how it was developed? It was like originally it was a very different shape. Like I kind of after I finished it, I looked into like some of the like the earlier versions of the development. Like say originally it was very different outside the edge of the world. Like and so they were making decisions and adding stuff and changing stuff as they were going along.
That's
so potentially the shape that was originally planned to be might have been very different from how it ended up.
Yeah, it was originally set underground, and you fought mole people.
Mm. The only bit that kind of the only bit that
yeah, that's how little fucking John listens to me these days. Yeah. All right.
I just decided I'm just gonna stop. When you're an idiot, I'm just gonna blitz past you. It's fine. It's gonna happen a lot.
You're just never gonna listen to him ever. Then
never talking in the rest.
Pretty much. Oh god, no, I've lost what I was gonna say. And it was actually probably interesting and intelligent.
We were talking about your rubber egg action figure. Wait, no, we weren't. What were we talking about?
Whether John will get his cock out.
Yeah, in the spa. So, I so pictured you as a never nude. I imagined you to be the sort of person who would shut. Do you know what pornography is?
I'm going to Google this word, so you just made this up.
Do you know what pornography is, John? It's on silence. He's looking that up as well.
I'm looking up. Looking up pornography is going to take a bit of a while. Okay, as far as I can tell, this doesn't appear to be a thing aside from one joke on Arrested Development.
No, it's a thing. Some people are never nudes.
No, I think it just came from a TV show.
John, I'll be honest. You've been trying to discount the phrase "never nude," not that you are in fact never nude, which is interesting.
You're attacking the word, not the concept that the word represents.
John, question: how often do you get the cock out?
Like every time I shower and presumably... What?
Whoa.
Yes.
Every time he showers?
Yes.
Child over here.
Whoa.
Some of us have to share showers, John. Some of us have to put a glove on. What?
Dan walks into a room, flop the cock out. That's Dan.
That's not what I do.
That's
not when people around.
Literally, that's not even the only time. Several times while I've been here, you go, oh, I almost flopped my cock out. Almost flopped my cock.
Almost is fine. Trump almost blew up China with nuclear weapons. He didn't. We're fine.
What the point's Dan?
This feels like a weird fetish that you were sort of imposing on Matt without his consent, which isn't cool, damn. It feels like you were just sort of wandering around, sort of almost getting your cock out in front of Matt.
Wait, so I have to now get my cock out to cancel out the...
All right. Cock out.
No, you have to
Live
ask Matt you have to pre-arrange with Matt whether he's okay with you accidentally getting your cock out so that you're both involved in this exhibitionist cock play that you're clearly into.
All right, I'm now going to unveil my penis for Matt. Here we go.
Oh, good lord!
That was hitting the ground. What do you think, Matt?
I think that you were very proud of that joke. And you were for 15 seconds. You sat up and you put your fucking fist above the table and you had this happy little face on. You're like, oh, it's going to be a really funny joke. It's going to be a really funny joke.
I just want to congratulate Matt for that absolutely catastrophic level of burning Dan's joke there. But absolutely sabotaging the fuck out of that joke. Just
Alert, I'm under
well
attack.
played. Well played. That was the most savage joke sabotage I have ever heard. That was incredible. Well done, Matt.
See, this is me. I'm like, no one sees us during the podcast, right? So I can set jokes up, have a little giggle to myself, ready some fun stuff up. I've got fucking Captain observing shit over here. You averted your eyes before. Just do it again.
The amount of times I need to point out in videos how much I edit Daniel laughing at himself.
I find myself quite funny.
I know, it's endearing.
If I didn't, I would have quit.
I know,
10
but
years
it's
ago.
very sweet. It's just in person, especially. You can see the gears turn just and he goes, "Oh, that's a good joke," and he goes, and you can see he sits up. And he's like, "Oh, it's going to be very funny."
I'd like to point out that me, John, and Matt spoke for about 30 seconds before we hit the record button. So this is legitimately the first time we've spoken in a very long time.
What? I've spoken to Matt.
Oh, me and John, I don't care about how other people interact
I
with each other.
don't care about John. So
No, I don't care about Matt. I care about you, John. You're interesting. I thought,
you speak to Matt. You speak to Matt all the time. I speak to Matt too.
I give Matt work all the time. It's a difference.
No, you don't.
But yes, I fucking do.
Well, more specifically, Dan does stuff, and then that gives me work. You don't directly give me work.
I mean, well, yes. If I do the thing, you have to do it as part of your job.
Well, usually you fall over and I'm like, oh, whoops, you've broken the floor.
How did a cock fall out of it?
If you're wondering, by the way, if the whole of the thing so far has been a setup for us, like, deliberately not talking about video games as a joke, no, I think it's just going to be like this, actually. Sometimes podcasts might be about video games.
Before this, Matt was like, "Oh, we got to put it because we're going to do it on Patreon first, and then delay release other things. What sort of, we're thinking of doing a month. Maybe we should do it 2 weeks if we're going to talk about current events." I'm like, "We're not talking about current events. I fucking know us. It's not going to be a problem."
Literally,
games we mentioned so far: Hitman 3, which came out 8 years ago, and Subnautica,
it came out in January.
It's
a game this year. It's a this year game.
It came out about 6
You should like Hitman 3. It finally came out in the structure you like, where the game just comes out and you've got all the levels straight away. So you can just do all the once
I
and done.
played it. I did a complete series, and then I've totally forgot I was doing a complete series until literally this second when I said I was doing a complete series.
How far did you get into it before you forgot about it?
I don't know, John. I don't watch my shit.
You didn't even get past the first fucking game's worth of
levels. Oh, yeah, I gave up. All right, that's done. RIP that series.
I didn't even get past fucking the Thai hotel.
I was doing a permadeath. I was only doing one run per thing, and some prick shot me from far away, and I got frustrated and stopped recording, and I never went back.
You sure didn't. I need to point out, 2 days ago...
2 days.
2 days ago, we were talking about Rangers the PodCats, and I'm trying to explain Rebecca what the PodCats is, because Rebecca doesn't listen to it.
Smart.
And I illustrated the point about John not knowing how cars worked. And Rebecca could not believe it. Literally, they could not process the level there. John.
It's a good level. John likes it. It's good. This is why I like
and the oranges. I fondly remember the orange discussion.
John, how many?
The worry about how many oranges there were in the world.
Do you know how an engine works yet, John?
I think I've got a better idea thanks to the last conversation we had. Yes.
Explain how an engine works.
Fuel vapor in tiny amounts goes bang, 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 which makes pistons go wobbly, wobbly, wobbly back and forth. And this somehow creates kinetic energy that can be transferred to wheels.
That's more than I know.
It's better than not.
It's better than it was. It's better than it was. And there's a couple of missing. There are a couple of missing steps in there. I'll admit.
Fucking pregnancy is when a mummy and daddy love each other very much instead of a stalk. It's not really. It's a bare minimum.
That's a very good analogy. I like that analogy. That's very good.
No fucking like. Oh, I think the stalks come and take them away.
I mean, I'm not quite 100% sure by what mechanism petrol becomes vapor. I don't know whether it just happens by itself.
Sorry,
does the petrol on the top just become vapor?
Shut up!
John, sorry, I have to interrupt because Matt just said that the stalk takes something away, and now I think that Matt doesn't know how a stalk works in the baby making process.
Well, he takes the baby and he takes it to someone else.
Okay, hang on. A stork is not a baby transfer device.
Where's the baby
Okay, hang on.
from then?
If you think this, actually, that's true. In the stork story, where are the babies coming from? Because if it's being where's it from?
Well, storks are fucking, and then they.
Well, yeah, but they gotta. I'm assuming the babies are somewhere, and the storks then pick them up and bring them.
Exactly.
Santa's
So
factory.
where are those babies coming from?
Santa's factory.
Well, it's Santa fucking loads of women.
No.
Yeah, what do you think the elves are for?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, now I've got him. Just Santa just pumping loads into elves.
Oh, that's why he breaks into kids' houses every night.
That's why he only does it once a year.
Oh,
He's got 9 months of downtime.
Because he's a fucking filthy pedo.
Oh, good lord! I'm
Whoa, the elves
I'm
are
so
of age,
sorry.
They're just small.
The-
If someone's small, doesn't mean they're young.
Sorry,
Matt.
no, this is the anime bullshit up here. Like, oh, but a fucking 8-year-old's body, but I'm 9,000-year-old, so it's fine. Fuck me.
Oh, Rebecca's left.
Jesus Christ! This is elves. Just because elves are small. Yes, exactly. This is all very unfair.
Has anyone been watching Beastars?
What's Beastars?
It's a thing on
Stars.
Yeah, Beastars. It's a thing on Netflix. It's basically about loads of animals that want to fuck, and that's apparently okay.
What? Is it?
He's not even joking.
Are you sure that that's real?
No, it's 100% what it is. They showed me a clip compilation, and it sounds like it's going to be more soul than it is. It's not. It's
Okay, I
literally,
just searched this and I saw the first 4 images come from the top of the results. Yeah, I can believe this is. Dan, are you a furry?
No, I'm not. I'd like to be.
Dan, I'm looking at this series that you've just said you're watching, and it's looking a lot like a furry show to
I
me.
wore Sonic's mascot costume at Sega World. Do you know, John? Do you know what Sega World was?
No.
Matt, you know Sega World?
I don't know specifically, but I can take a fucking guess at what's Sega World.
Was it convention for Sega games?
Stuff.
It was in the Trocadero in London. It was like a 5, 6, 7-story indoor theme park, 90s neon, because it ran 1996 to 1999, and it was all 90s neon, and it was all arcades and big clunky VR headsets and Sega Sonic themed, and it had like hundreds of arcade machines, roller coasters running through it. It was the coolest fucking place in the world. Why does nobody remember Sega World?
Daniel,
Yeah?
I'm from the north and Ireland.
Yeah, you had Sega in Ireland.
No, barely.
No, you've got to get Ireland. It's not.
Well, fucking Ireland was 10 years behind everything technologically.
Okay, I just want you to know.
The NES.
I just searched for Beastars on YouTube. One of the first things that comes up is a thumbnail with in giant letters written on it. They made an anime for furries.
It is that.
And also, one of the images does rather appear like there is a small mouse one, and all the others look at it like they're about to eat the small mouse one. So I think it might also be for people into
Well, that's
vor.
the whole plot. That's the whole plot. Is how the carnival's going to fuck you or eat you, and it's set in a high school because Japan.
He's not even joking.
This is
It's literally the plot.
this is
No,
definitely.
But right. I
was really hoping when you began this sentence you were going to start talking about a video game, but no, you just tried to recruit us into your weird furry thing.
If you when I went to Sega, my friend's dad owned it, which is a very my uncle worked at Nintendo.
I was about to say that's a very uncle
My friend's
Nintendo
dad legitimately
claim.
owned Sega World, and I got to go into Sega World and see like the back end and how everything was working, and I got to wear the big Sonic mascot costume, which is the hottest thing ever you will ever be in. Jesus fucking Christ, how they did that in an indoor theme park.
Can we just confirm what you mean by the term hottest? Just for clarity. Okay,
Warm.
great. Okay,
Temperature
thank you.
At a warm level. Also, I had a brilliant wank. No. So it was, but it's beautiful. Oh my god, John, look up pictures of Sega World. And then tell me you don't want to go to Sega World.
I'm going to Google it as well.
Just look at Sega World pictures. You'll see the big escalator and all the neon, and you'll be like, that's the coolest fucking place I've ever seen in my entire life. That's the exact words you're going to use. Here they come now. God, you people need better respect.
Sega World London. Wow, so the image it shows for Sega World London is a picture of a bit of tube.
No, that's images. Go to images, you
Okay,
fuckwit.
I'm seeing
at
a
that
huge
shit.
amount of escalators, but I don't know where they're going or
Escalators.
coming from.
Just
appears to be a
escalators.
series of escalators
It was a big open central bit, like in a sort of shopping centre, because it's the Trocadero.
How many escalators do you need?
It had the world's longest escalator or something.
I
at
knew
one
it.
point.
Okay, so basically you went to Escalator World and had a great time there.
But on each
You
floor there were
boring
hundreds of arcade
fucker.
machines.
I'm
I had
looking,
a
yeah, it's
great
just
time
arcade
at
machines.
Escalator World.
Oh,
They let
I
me
found
dress
one.
up as Ernie
It's
the
called
Escalator.
Stinky Feet.
The Ernie the
Stinky Feet.
Escalator costume was a bit on the
Sorry, we
hot
need to address
side.
this.
But
There's an
I had a
arcade
really
here.
nice time.
There's an arcade thing
At
here. and it's called
Escalator
Stinky
John,
Feet, and
World.
it's
wait.
for people.
John, you would fucking love Escalator World and you know it.
Yeah, but my Escalator World would commit to it. It wouldn't just have a... This, you know what this is? This is just wanker escalators. Like how wankers have PCs full of like little lights that don't do anything. These are just escalators with PC lights around them.
Are you saying you would prefer an Escalator World made by Let's Game It Out?
No, what John's saying is he would prefer a more boring Escalator World.
I just want my
John's like,
Look,
this
I just want my
Escalator World is
Escalator
too
World to be about
exciting.
the escalators.
Oh,
And
this is a
like, you have the
vintage
world's fastest
1989
escalator. And you can have ground-based travelators and like a really steep
A
escalator.
ground-based travelator is not a fucking escalator.
Well, I think it has a place at Escalator World.
Does it escalate? It fucking does not, Jonathan. It fucking does not.
You can't. If you had a fucking if you went to fucking Lift World, and there was just a platform on a fucking stick, you're not gonna call it a fucking lift, are you?
Okay,
Just
okay,
shopping
no, shut up. Is it an escalator if it's going from the top to the bottom? That's still an escalator.
No, it's a de-escalator.
No, it's not. It's an
You can't have an
escalator.
argument on them.
Still an
Everyone
escalator.
just-
Everyone agrees
everyone
that's
just
still an
settles,
escalator.
yeah.
That's still an escalator. So if you were to go on a travelator, then went in a straight line long enough, based on the curvature of the world, what direction would you be going in?
Well, actually, an escalator is one that is stair-based, and a travelator is one that is flat. Hence, the travelator was one.
They're
of
just
the
really shallow
gladiators.
steps. They're just
That was a
extremely
travelator
shallow
because it was
steps.
flat.
Really
Daniel actually
shallow
pushed his
steps.
glasses up on his face
Therefore,
then when
a
he said that.
travelator is an escalator. QED, fuck you.
No, an escalator has steps. If it has steps, it's an escalator. Travelator.
So if I just attach some steps to a travelator, it's an escalator.
If you trap fucking steps to fucking anything, I'll fucking kill you. What's happening?
This is a bad hill to die on, John. Out of all the hills you've tried to die on.
You've died on the hill of, I said, isn't Sega World cool? And you went, I want to go to fucking boring Escalator World.
No, what I'm doing is I'm trying to look at pictures of Sega World, and all the pictures show nothing but fucking escalator
Oh,
with
Johnny's
little lines
right
on
here,
them.
and
There's
it's just
nothing
fucking
Sega-y
escalators.
going on here. It's just escalators.
Escalators to nowhere, going round and round.
Exactly.
You wonder where the best escalators
you
are?
dress
Fucking
up
the
as
Guinness
a
Brewery
furry
in
and go
Dublin.
up and down an escalator. I literally can't find any photo of Sega World that's not of escalators. It's nothing but escalators.
There's so many pictures where it's just arcades and little games and
No,
stuff.
it's not. I've just said
What's an
Sega World,
escalator?
not World, and it's nothing but the sign over the door and
I'm sorry.
escalators.
Daniel just showed me a photo of the escalators and put it in 3 pixels.
But
But
there's the
look,
floors. Oh my god, there's the floors.
that's a floor plan for the escalators.
Well, the escalators get you to the floors.
Wow, there were
That's
2
how they work.
whole McDonald's. Jesus Christ.
There was.
Is that on the escalators too?
Sega
They just take you to
something.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
This sounds
Most
like the
American
shittest place. Like must be so disappointing. You go to Sega World and something but escalators to McDonald's linked by
Sure,
the
you know what?
escalators.
Kids would love that, though,
That's
wouldn't they?
it.
I have this set of coins from Sega World because they gave you tokens that could be put in anything. Because again, I went there. Yeah,
Did you
that
put them
one.
on the
I got that
escalators to
coin.
make them go? The
Well, so
escalators
sure.
Oh, it's on
work
eBay.
without-
Hang on.
Without
Let's see how much
Sega
this coin's
dollars.
worth.
Where is it?
Ah! Holy shit!
It's worth quite a lot of money, actually.
This coin. Sorry, this. John, I'm rich. John, this Sega World coin that I've got quite a few of. Is on eBay for £139.75.
Is this the end of the podcast? You really don't need to do it anymore because you're now
don't need
rich
you
from
fuckers
Sega money.
anymore.
You got
From Sega coins.
Holy shit! I got
Okay, you have
loads
to
of them.
you have to do this responsibly. You have to sell them one at a time. You can't flood the market with them or you'll crash the value.
Alright, I'll be good then.
That's the one thing I trust John on is boring business talk.
I love Sega World. I hate you, they're all shit.
How many times did you go to
Every
Sega World?
shops you
I
could
went
find
once.
any.
Once. You went one time and you're like, this, how old were you?
7.
You went one time as a 7-year-old, like, this is the best place ever, and you've never been since, or heard of anything of it. And
Well, because it's shut down.
I know, but here's the
It
thing,
lost
I do not trust the opinion of a 7-year-old.
Always trust the 7-year-olds
A
know what the
7-year-old.
best things are.
Sorry, you as a 7-year-old, I do not trust.
What's better, EastEnders or Steven Universe? I rest my fucking case.
That's not. It's not the same at all. I mean, fucking your standards were so low when you were growing up. I'm surprised you weren't like a sponge.
Oh, I love sponges. Biting
What?
sponges.
Actually, you know what I liked? I like those sponges that start off tiny, and then if you put them in water, they grow loads.
Yeah,
those are really
Look
cool.
at just all the arcade machines going off into the distance.
Yeah, I've seen
It's all
arcade
like-
machines
I
before.
can find
Daniel.
one photo of an
Just
arcade
amazing.
machine.
I've been to an
One.
arcade.
Look, there's big there's a fighter jet. There's a fighter jet painted, suspended from the fucking ceiling. It's the coolest place in the fucking world. It lasted 3 years.
Is that why you said
It
I
does
was
kind
like-
of look like just a slightly low-rent Blackpool arcade with a fuck ton of escalators and some McDonald's.
And
You
neon
both
signs.
sicken me, you bastards.
No, the place I
I
went
just
to that
feel
was
like you'd
that
have
was
more
the
fun at
Disney-
any bowling alley, where you can have
Disney-
bowling, there's going to be
There's
some arcade
bowling there.
machines.
There was bowling there. It had everything,
No,
John.
legit-
It was
no.
amazing. It had Laser Quest,
John,
bowling.
have you ever been to Disney World?
Which one?
Disney World.
Which one?
Which
No,
one's
no, we're
Disney
not-
World? There's like several.
Florida one.
Florida. Why would he ever go to fucking Florida?
Yeah, I've been to Florida. I've
Why
been to the
have
Florida
you
Disney
been to
World before.
Florida? How did
Because
you
I was
survive
taken there by
Florida?
my parents when I was a kid. I don't remember it very well. I was
So-
quite young.
Oh, why didn't you go more than fucking once, John?
So in
Why don't you, at 7 years old,
In-
get on a fucking plane and go to
in-
fucking Sega?
in
Florida's
downtown
further
Disney-
away than the Trocadero, you
in
twat!
downtown
When you're 7, they're both equally as far away to walk.
No, they're not. In downtown Disney, there was Disney Quest. Big fucking building, 4 stories tall, load of escalators, load of fucking arcade machines, awkward VR things. There was a McDonald's. So it was.
Oh, McDonald's. Right,
This
yeah.
might have been after my time. I don't remember this.
Alright,
And
so
VR
it's-
sounds a bit advanced for when I was there.
Shit VR. I mean, like really shit 90s VR. It doesn't exist for very long, but it sounds exactly like what Daniel's talking about, and it also closed down and was demolished.
The bit
at the
that
end of
really
the day,
stuck
you're
with
probably
me
shit.
was I was there during the time of what was it called? E.T. the Extra Terrestrial, where they did the live horror show. There was like the teleporting alien that escaped into the auditorium, and it was all done with like, you know, they sprayed water under your seats because like the creature was under the seat with you, and like it was really good. It was really terrifying because I was like 7 or something, and I probably should not have been allowed into that show, but it was really scary.
Sounds terrifying. E.T. by itself is terrifying.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Because like the idea is like they're supposed to tell that it's supposed to be like, you know, a demonstration of a teleporter, but they accidentally teleport and a hostile alien
God,
in
it's
and
the
it escaped.
scaredest person
and
of a
it's-
fucking film ever.
It's
Like,
dark and there's flashing lights and there's smoke and like, they spray water to make you think like, you know, it's right behind your legs and it's about to eat you or something and it's supposed to be like
I
it's
had that.
It's
There's
really
a Bugs
scary.
Life show that had that. There was a Bugs Life show that had that, which did the simple thing, and it scared the shit out of me. I thought I was because they do.
I
an
don't
effect
remember a
where it's like
Bugs
you're
Life
being
version. I remember a live 3D Muppet show that was pretty fun.
I saw that as well.
That was like I to this day I remember and really admire the joke where Fozzie Bear's got the remote controlled flying 3D custard pie and then it hits the person behind him because it doesn't come at the audience.
I need you to say something.
I
about
really
it.
admire that joke. That's a very good joke.
Just the thing. The reason why Daniel's being quiet here is because me and John are middle class and Daniel is not.
Fred saying about saying one. I think I'm going to cry.
Oh God, what was it full of rapists?
Just, I'm reading the Wikipedia thing. It was said to be the largest indoor theme park in the world, which is pretty fucking rad. But I was looking at how it launched, etc., because it didn't go particularly well. Robbie Williams was there.
Oh, fucking course he was.
It says the 3 launches, particularly the public opening, did not run as planned. Though positive comments were made towards the park's large rocket escalator.
Yes! Escalators! And several smaller supporting escalators, which were also praised.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was. Yeah, it was. I thought it was pretty good.
I mean, admittedly, launching anything in like the late 90s, early 90s was fun because they would always just pay celebrities to show up for gaming stuff who blatantly did not care, but they had to pretend to be.
Annika Rice went to this one, so yes.
I remember when they launched the GameCube, Nintendo just hired any celebrity going, so there were lots of really awkward pictures of the celebrities at the time just holding a GameCube controller very awkwardly.
Oh God,
like,
I've seen The Rock holding a GameCube controller.
I thought The Rock was exclusively hired by Microsoft for the launch of the original Xbox.
He did work with Microsoft, but I have seen him holding a GameCube controller.
I remember Lil' Kim and one other rapper of the time very awkwardly playing Smash Brothers against each other at one point.
Hey, do you think fucking T-Pain still listens to the podcast?
Hey, T-Pain.
That's not even a joke. T-Pain did listen to the podcast.
That's really weird.
I know!
Could you some like fucking massive mansion in LA somewhere has just got me, John, and Matt blaring out of it?
Yeah, like Kanye walks in like, yo, what's this?
Did Kanye and T-Pain get on, or are you being racist? What's going on
They
here?
did. They made songs together back in the day.
Back in the day. You know what else
So
happened
many
in the day?
escalators.
Sega
I
World.
can't find anything but pictures of escalators.
From what I've just read about how it was managed, it seems like the escalators are the only thing that ran. Oh, it was magical as a kid, though.
Are we possibly? Are we? I'm not 100% sure this might have actually been Escalator World before it was rebranded.
It was amazing.
This was a little kind of a collab between Sega and Escalator World.
It was £12 to get in
Fuck
in
off.
1996 money.
That's fucking expensive.
That's quite
bit,
a lot
innit?
in 1996
Yeah,
money.
They
It's a
cut
lot.
it down to £2 after a while.
Oh,
I was about to say that's like an entire auntie's Christmas card right there.
All right, fucking you with a rich auntie. I
Yeah,
got 50p
fucking hell.
a year, mate.
Wow, John, that shows a lot. That
Yes,
shows a lot.
John throw. Oh, there. Stop it. That's how much we would give the child that scraped the fungus off the bottom of the boat.
Look,
The
bear in
Welk
mind,
boy.
I'm older
Come,
than
Welk
you.
boy.
So
Welk
I'm older
boy,
than you, so I've got
nanny,
an
give me
extra
a
5-6 years on inflation. All right. So a tenner and a card is fine. That's a good aunt or...
Did you just give an inflation argument to the money you get from your aunt as a child?
Yes, you've got to factor in inflation to that.
got
No, I just realised I got it backwards, so actually it suggests I'm more privileged when I was trying to argue I was less.
What was your
Because I
pocket
got
money,
it backwards.
John, what was your pocket money?
I don't think I've really got any. That wasn't really a thing.
You didn't get any pocket, or were you just given everything you wanted?
I think it was just like, it was like a
I can
pound a
imagine
week. I
John's
remember
house
getting
is-
I think it was £1 a week.
Oh, £1 a week, cool. I bet John's house was full of just pictures of him in one of those little little tiny hunters outfits that you put kids in the day, just on a little fake horse, looking very sad. Just massive oil paintings of that above the fireplace.
I love you think how I'm like some form of sad Elizabethan noble aristocrat
John,
child
with all
whose
due
parents were killed in the Crimean
John,
War.
I have several photos of you on my phone in a fucking tuxedo.
I mean, John, that's exactly how I imagine you.
Yes, this is a thing that you wear at formal events.
I've always been worried that you're some sort of Victorian ghost gone corporeal. That's my...
Sorry, do you think the only people who wear suits are Victorian
No, not
ghosts?
suit. No, not suit. A tuxedo with
Jesus
tails.
Christ, don't go to a wedding, Daniel. It'll blow your fucking mind. You're thinking the ghosts have come back to
Well, you
haunt
know
us.
what's going
Holy shit, guys!
John's shouting right now because he's trying to disguise the sound of him taking his ruff off round his neck and just putting it to the side.
I'll never take you to a ball in Oxford. All right, you'll lose your fucking mind.
Would not... Yeah, I've been shown pictures of you. Oh, God, you lie right tight in that, John.
It's the fucking suit with a John, you've got a dicky bow.
Yes, absolutely. It was a white tie event, if I recall correctly.
A white tie event.
You look
Yes.
like you fucked the pig after Cameron. That's what you look like in those pictures.
A white tie event means you should actually be wearing a proper dress shirt.
I have a question, John. Where
Yes?
were you at the time when you were going to the white tie event?
I thought you were about to say, where were you at 9/11? And I was like, where's that coming from?
What university were you going to, John?
Well, that wasn't when I was at university, was it? I thought that was when we met up after one of the YouTube parties at
This
their
is just
HQ
what he
course.
wears
Sorry.
for fun.
So you weren't wearing a fucking tuxedo at a YouTube party, John?
Well, the invite said white tie, but no one else understood what that meant,
John,
so
the
I was
pictures
very
I
annoyed at
have of
everyone
you
else there.
are in university.
What fucking YouTube party is white tie?
Could you imagine?
YouTube had a party at their headquarters, and they invited loads of people. I thought, you know what, that sounds fun. Me and Claire will go. And the invite said the dress code is white tie. So, okay, it's white tie,
Oh my
therefore I
God.
shall wear a full dress shirt with a white bow tie, because that's what fucking white tie means. And no one else was dressed correctly. YouTube was not enforcing their own dress code. If you don't want it to be white tie, why have you put white tie on the invite?
What you expect your fucking Logan Paul would go to turn up in a fucking the full nines?
Well, yeah, if you found a dead guy who's about to be buried with a... Oh, I'll take that. Thanks.
It's... Do you think how would Barry look in a white tie?
Fucking
He
magnificent.
would look amazing, but I don't think he'd turn up in a white tie.
Yeah, I could imagine Barry in white
I
tie.
could imagine Barry in a white tie, but he doesn't have white tie energy.
Yeah, John has white tie energy.
Yeah, John has big white tie energy.
Yeah.
I think
You're
this
white
is
guy, white tie,
I,
that's how I
I read this as a compliment. It's probably not, but I read this as a compliment.
Yeah, and that's why you've got white tie energy. Anyway,
Fucking silver line socks!
should we start recording?
So, that death loop then.
That death loop then.
It came out a month ago today.
It came out 1 month ago today. Unless you listen to this on Patreon.
Oh, right. Okay. Got really confused there. Which came out over a month ago, didn't it?
I got it on PC, and it has to run at 4K to be full screen, and then literally the very first bit I played had like micro stuttering, and I was like, no.
Oh, you've had the stuttering. I didn't get the stuttering, but I heard a lot of people did.
Thanks to
I didn't get that.
anti-cheat.
I bailed on it. I fucking bailed on it immediately. I got a refund. I bought it on PS5.
I can confirm that as well, because I did a live stream, I was going to say last night, a month ago, where Daniel opens it, and you can hear him opening it in the background, and then literally about, 90 seconds later, he goes, I've refunded it, and I get an email.
It said 5 minutes on the clock when I refunded it. But no, I think I'm now entering the period of I'm never buying AAA games on PC again.
Really?
Because, I don't think they're worth the faff.
The 3090 was definitely worth it.
The 3090 is great for VR. Mm-hmm. That's what we bought it for, was VR. But honestly, AAA games, I'm a console boy now.
It depends what it's for, though, because you're not super into your strategy games, are you?
I mean, there's stuff like that. I mean, there's PC-specific things that I'll always play on PC.
Because I'll give Creative Assembly and Paradox. They've done as good a job as they can do trying to port their games to console. Civ 6 on consoles, or that works pretty well. Crusader Kings 3 on console, that's looking like that works pretty well. The other stuff Paradox has put on console, it's as good as it's ever going to be, but it's never going to be as good as it's going to be originally designed with a mouse.
Yeah, and that's why some things are going to always be PC, but the big AAA releases, console, everything, boys, I'm just going to get them on console now. I've got 60 FPS on the PS5.
And you get a Steam Deck.
If you buy it on Steam, you get it on the Steam Deck, but the problem with that is...
No, but
thank fuck, we've reached the bit of the podcast where we can actually discuss games, I think.
You're going to use the Steam Deck for most games and big AAA stuff on the PS5, and then the PC for VR game, which is what you're going to do, isn't it?
It's a nice sort of... And then Switch or whatever mad shit Nintendo decides to dig into their back thing and release.
I pre-ordered an OLED Switch, everyone.
Matt's the kind of arsehole pre-ordered... Yeah.
I like it.
All the heckling from fucking up the upper floors there.
Oh, wait, Daniel, pass my Switch. I spent like...
I pushed it too far away. I can't remember.
I spent 6 hours last night transplanting my Switch case.
Bring back the bard who was doing the recitation of the Odyssey.
Oh my god, what's happening? They've closed the upper curtains.
How do you think a theatre works?
I don't know, John. I'm poor. Well, not anymore,
because they're saying close the outer curtains because you didn't want the people in the boxes to be able to see the stage?
Yeah, that's
close
the thing,
the upper curtains. What the fuck do you think a theatre is?
There's a plane. A plane just flew over my house.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm going to estimate about 40 feet above my house.
You should probably just close the roof curtain. That was all stout.
Near an airport.
You don't live anywhere near an airport.
So that's fun.
Okay, so if there was a terrorist attack in the middle of September somewhere in the UK, that was that. We'll be able to sell this footage straight to every news outlet.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. All right. Let's get some fucking sheep are about to get the arse blown off. Hey, what are we talking about? I can't remember what we talked about. I got distracted.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's my problem with going over to... Even though you can now get good resolutions and good frame rate on console, you don't get the options you want. The options menu is still...
I need an FOV slider. I require...
Yeah, you need FOV slider. I want to be able to turn off depth of field. I want to turn off motion blur.
Quick point.
I want to turn off a lot of options.
On PS5, I've turned off motion blur and depth of field in Ratchet & Clank. I think Spider-Man as well.
I was about to say as well, a lot of games are getting FOV sliders.
I think Deathloop has a field of view slider as well.
I've got several games on the Switch with FOV sliders, interestingly.
That's really good. That's really good progress, then. Because it used to always be a really big problem. Like, the reason I'd stick to PC for the big releases is... Like, some games in particular, you get 10 million options to make it look how you want. Like, say, Resident Evil 2 had an amazing set of, visual sliders, where it gave you, live updates of what it was going to look like or not look like, so you could really optimize it how you wanted it to be. It was really nice.
John, have you seen the Switch port of Quake?
I have not. No, I've heard of it, but I've not seen it in action.
The Switch port of Quake I found really silly, because it's got a full PC options menu. Like, with all the PC options, like aliasing and texture quality and view distance and frame rate and fucking, resolution and FOV and everything. It's really weird.
I legitimately think that somebody just landed a plane in a field near me.
Just close the plane curtain, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, but that was a thing. That was a in the Victorian times. If Queen.
Oh no, has he seen someone wearing a tuxedo outside? Oh, he's getting confused. Nurse!
Another one. What the fuck is happening? In Victorian times, if there was a part of the play that Queen Victoria wouldn't want to see, like it was a bit too gory or anything, she'd close curtains.
Bit too gory a play in Victorian times.
She would close. No, but like something that was a bit too. Oh no, because it was she went to go see the thing, but they would have curtains. And they would close those. It was closed. You've heard of that, Matt, haven't you?
No.
John, you've heard of they would close the curtains. Shh.
I think this is a story that was made up subsequently to kind of pertaining to Queen Victoria's supposed sensitive sensibilities. I don't think there's any truth to this. This sounds like a made up interpolation.
Oh yeah, I made it up just then. But
Yeah.
it's because I can imagine. I want that. I would like to have.
It did sound like. But it sounded. I mean, in your defence, it sounded like a reasonable made-up interpolation.
Yeah, I was really hoping one of you would go for it.
That's the sort of thing that someone would have made up about Queen Victoria. Yes, after she was gone.
There's a different plane circling now.
He's very distracted.
I feel like I'm in
close
war.
It's like close the window. It's like close the curtain, Daniel.
Is there like some form of like really elaborate like mid-air police thing going on where like one criminal plane's gone to ground, now the police planes are just circling?
Well,
Where's he gone? I don't know where he's gone.
I live where
Flush him out.
They do police helicopter training, like but low ground police helicopter training. I don't know why they do it, but they do it.
The low ground police helicopter training.
Yeah,
below ground,
not below, low.
Okay, good.
What the fuck, John?
Below ground, they're just in an underground tunnel.
Well, I don't know. You don't seem to know how a theatre works.
I know how a theatre works. You
don't seem to know how a tuxedo works.
I don't. Who needs to know how a tuxedo works?
Oh, you're probably distracted.
John, right.
Whenever you've gone to like a really nice theatre show, you're probably just distracted by all the ghosts.
I am.
All the Victorian ghosts. You've no fucking clue what's going on. No wonder you've had no time to pay attention to where the curtains are.
John, have you ever seen a ghost?
Not to the best of my knowledge. But how would I know?
John. Johnny John.
What if Matt died years ago and Matt's a ghost all the time?
John, do you remember that idea you had for a Halloween video last year?
No, I've forgotten.
It involved me.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yes, it's kind of spooky. I'm just going to put your face on screen for 5 minutes.
No,
women will faint, milk will curdle.
It was me and you in Phasmophobia.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, where you were in VR and I wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
Yo, you said you didn't want to because you're too much of a wuss.
Yeah, but I played the game now and I'm less of a pussy.
Oh, sweet.
So, I'm actually pro at ghosts now. Ghosts, me and ghosts are good.
Who are you going to call? Phobia.
Yeah, I can see why they didn't go for that, can't you?
Who are you going to call? Daniel keeps looking out the window.
I wouldn't trust Matt with a ghost because I saw him try and battle a Daddy Longlegs yesterday. You've never
Hello,
heard
it's
of
Matt here. Yeah, the original
was not gonna
Ghostbusters,
battle
they
it.
crossed the streams, they're all dead. So my name's Matt, I'm the new Ghostbuster.
I wasn't battling it, I just ran away.
Matt ran away from a Daddy Longlegs yesterday midway through his live stream.
Yeah?
It was up to me to save the day.
Yeah, because you're tall.
I'm tall. That's what I intimidate Daddy
I think
Longlegs.
you're taller than the Daddy Longlegs too,
Yeah,
Matt.
I'm like, oh, you think those are long legs?
It's because me and
Bam.
Rebecca can't reach the fucking ceiling.
Yeah, but
You
it
didn't
was.
kill it, did you?
No, he
No,
was
I
trying to
didn't.
catch it
I
on the
scooped him out.
ceiling.
I'm not a
Good.
monster.
We don't kill animals here.
Well,
Yeah, not even the delicious ones.
yeah, unlike you barbarian Victorian ghost.
John sits there being like, murder. Every day.
John sits there nude.
Look,
covered
if they
in
decide,
blood.
if they, like how cigarette packets, they decided, okay, we've got to put like really horrible stuff on them. If they did the same thing with meat, so every time you opened a pack of bacon, the pack of bacon would just yell "murderer" at you, like the first time it opened, like the bacon would yell. I would consider that a fair price to pay. I'd just keep going. So yeah, fine, that's fine. I would accept the bacon yelling "murder" at me if it meant I got to eat bacon.
I imagine if it was like just a picture of like, these are people who eat meat, and it's just loads of happy people smiling with thumbs up.
Yeah.
Bacon shit.
Just open up the bacon, just murderer! Open up a nice little thing of ham to make my lunch. Twat!
It's got a little spring-loaded pellet of blood that flies out of you and just...
Oh, that's like a little business card sponsored by Peter.
Yeah.
Like little mini Peter bombs.
Yeah,
you know,
but
the
people get it
little
wrong.
lamb patties. We're going to have a lamb burgers later this week. You know, they do the full Simpsons bit. Lisa, what did I ever do to you?
That was a damn good impression.
That was actually very good. Daniel just stood up.
Thank you.
He stood up. I
Thank you
have
very
not.
much.
I don't want to.
I stood up for that.
I can do an excellent impression of the sheep in that one episode of The Simpsons. It's my greatest talent.
What's the name of that episode of The Simpsons?
Oh,
I know the
hang
answer.
on.
I know the answer.
I don't know the name of the episode. I know all sorts of jokes and lines from it, because it's also the tripe episode. They don't dispense to swallow this tripe. Here, enjoy this complimentary tripe. And the really good video of the slaughterhouse with Troy McClure and Timmy. But I can't remember the actual name of the episode, no.
Well, I'll say it. It's Lisa the Vegetarian.
Yeah.
Very simple one, really. And that's the one with,
McCartney.
thingies at the end, the guest stars.
Paul McCartney. Should I say
Yeah,
it again? Paul
McCartney's.
Why was that? It says Paul McCartney, one of those famous people to have lived in the past 50 years. You're like, oh, the famous one, not
Hey,
like...
Look,
who's
I'm
Paul McCartney?
old. Sometimes I forget things.
Look, somebody is not famous just because their wife makes nice sausages.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Do you know, it keeps going on about... Do you know who he was saying was really famous? The guy who did the commentary on Thomas the Tank Engine. Apparently he's like a singer or something.
Yes, that's Ringo Starr. Twat.
No, he's just the guy who did the Thomas the Tank thing. He's not famous for anything else. What's more famous? Oh, Ringo Starr and the Stars. Or Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas the Tank Engine's more
He
famous.
did actually have a band called The Stars at one point.
What?
He did actually have a band called The Stars at one point.
That's what I just said. Yes, it's obvious because he's clearly a talentless hack, but he's got a nice voice. Where's he from? Sort
No,
of
he
like
doesn't have a nice voice.
Scotland or somewhere? Doesn't
He
matter.
doesn't have a nice voice.
What?
He can't play instruments, he doesn't have a nice voice.
Well,
I'm
he's
going to
shit
be
then,
honest,
wasn't
like,
He is shit.
probably at this
Ringo
day and
Starr is
age,
shit. I hate Ringo.
it's one of those self-correcting things where probably right now in the UK, more people would say Ringo Starr, but as time goes by, Thomas the Tank Engine will take over.
I think it already has.
That's
I think
really...
it already... I would... All right, hands up. Who knows Thomas the Tank Engine? That's three.
Okay, I'm gonna do this for a Twitter poll right this second. How should we construct this question? Like, who's the most famous? Is that what we're asking?
I think you should put, right, what's Ringo Starr's best work? A, Thomas the Tank Engine. B, Ringo Starr
Yeah,
and the
but
Stars.
everyone's going to choose Thomas the Tank Engine as a
Well,
joke
then my
answer.
fucking point stands.
It's hard to construct this question in a way that isn't leading, is my point.
Well, be like...
If you phrase this wrong, you lead people to the answer.
Okay,
That's not cool.
Where do you mainly know Ringo Starr from?
Pick one. Just say pick one.
That's
yeah. And I bet Thomas the Tank wins. Because who's heard of Ringo Starr and the Stars?
No one was right. It was shit.
I'm going to look at John's
Paul
Twitter.
McCartney notably said Ringo Starr wasn't even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Who are the Beatles?
Daniel.
Many a true nerd. That's you, isn't it, John?
That'll be me, yeah.
That's you. That's you are.
Let's see what the responses are so far.
Daniel doesn't have Twitter. He's had to go to the website.
I'm
Going to
still
the-
typing it. I'm still
Okay.
typing it.
The first response says, John's having the Dragon Age experience. I'm so happy. The next one says, 8 hours in. Get a room, you two.
This is an unrelated
oh no.
tweet about Dragon Age
I
Origins.
adore Alistair. He's not... It does appear to be that way. Yes, John.
This is a completely unrelated tweet.
It's a lot
Where'd you
of- there's a lot of
primarily
tweets
know?
about
Where'd you
Dragon Age
primarily know
Origins.
Ringo
A lot of
Starr
them.
from?
Put in brackets, this is for the podcast.
There we
Not too
go.
late.
There we
Too late.
go.
All right.
Tweet stuff.
Right, you're not allowed to vote, Matt.
I'm not voting. I'm gonna
Matt's
retweet
going to
it.
vote. I bet Matt's going to vote.
gonna
He's going to
retweet
skew
it.
it. This vote was rigged. I declare this vote to be rigged unless it goes my way.
I'm gonna retweet it.
I don't even know which way you want it to go.
Tom's the Tank Engine.
Obviously. What do you mean? How is that not obvious, John?
What the fuck? John, you've fucking hell, John.
What's he done?
You're supposed to put Ringo Starr and the Stars. Who are the Beatles?
John, you're taking it seriously.
Yes,
Who are
I
the
am.
Beatles?
Okay, retweet. Yeah, why is it a 24-hour poll, John?
Because
How long
that's
is
the
this
default.
How
That's
long
just
is
the
this
default
podcast?
poll.
Change the
Fucking
fucking
awful.
default.
Why would I do that?
So we can have a definitive answer in 20 minutes.
We don't
Look,
fuck me
this
off.
tweet will have been buried in half an hour. It's not like it's going to change.
People check you.
What's the poll result so far?
It's
I have to
overwhelmingly
vote-
the
I have to vote to
Beatles.
check.
It's what? Sorry, what did you say,
Overwhelmingly
John?
the Beatles.
The what?
It's
the
the
Beatles?
Beatles. Yeah,
The
it's
Beatles.
I bought it on your behalf for Tom with the Night Engine.
Thank you. The Beatles?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
No, I'm
What's
sorry, but
What's John saying?
So,
it's three.
It's the bug.
The Bug, yeah, Beatles. Beetles.
Yeah, Beetle.
Beatles, yeah.
So there's multiple of those.
There's multiple of those bugs.
Yeah.
I'm actually not actually sure why Beatles is spelt the way it is.
He spelt it wrong. Oh, is this going to be an existential crisis in the comments for some people? Wait, it's...
This is a really stretched bit, Daniel. I really hope you go to a good punchline with this, because this bit is
with an
stretched.
A because of the beat is in the musical beat.
I did not realise that till this very second.
I just thought they had a shit level Bodleian education.
Well, they did as well. They went to Calderstones.
I genuinely never knew for a second that the Beatles were called that because beat as in music until today.
What else could it possibly be?
I would like to point out that the most people saying that episode of The Simpsons, question mark. The origin for The Simpsons.
Oh, the one with just fucking Marge just painting. Wow.
It's The Simpsons. We've come back round to The Simpsons.
Why the fuck?
Yeah. So there we go. Ringo Starr, best known for A, The Simpsons.
Every member of the Beatles aside from John's been in The Simpsons.
Who's John?
The dead one. Well,
You were in the Beatles,
the
John?
first dead one.
You're dead, John? I knew you were a Victorian Ghost!
Darn it!
And that's what I was
Foiled
trying to
again.
get
I
to.
would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you pesky kids.
That was the two bits I was trying to link up. Literally all that was to link those two bits up. If you want an insight into my brain...
I was wondering where the fuck you were going with that bit, because it was a fucking stretch.
I do yoga now, though, so I'm good at fucking stretching. Whee. Not yoga, was it? Pool. I play a lot of pool.
You?
No, wank. I wank a lot, yeah, that's it.
You have a wife.
So if you got
Yes.
dinner on the...
That was
have you
that was
never
a strange,
ordered fucking...
strange-
Have you never ordered fries for a meal?
I don't remember this bit of the wedding vows. Is this a general point of the wedding vows? In sickness
Here
and
we
in health,
go,
for
we
richer,
got
for
it.
poorer,
We've
and
got
also I won't
confirmation.
wank
Get your
ever
stuff out.
again.
Yeah, you gotta... it says it in... I remember distinctly putting that in there. It was... You just read it, you're like, wait, no, I can't... This bit, you know, it's
It's a very, very old-fashioned puritanical position to take there, Matt.
Is this why you're single?
Is it because
John, are
you
you
think if you
single?
get partnered up, you're not allowed to masturbate anymore?
John, are you single? I can't remember.
No.
Oh.
It's been in a relationship for a very long
Who are you
time.
For a very long time. In fact, while I'm doing this, she's actually like
What?
doing the actual work. And like, you know,
Correct.
she's doing the editing of Dragon Age. It's great.
Claire, I thought that was his sister.
I do occasionally enjoy for people who've joined in, like, if anyone like comes and they're new to the channel and they're like say, oh, I'm new, who's this Claire that gets mentioned?
wouldn't
I'll
come
often
if
say
they
like
knew
my
this.
sister-in-law, my cousin, my mother. I'll say literally anything.
I just
Yeah.
thought you were fucking your sister.
What? Wow, I mean, it does fit with the
User
Victorian
disconnected.
ghost. doesn't
Stay
it?
on the zeitgeist, Dan. Obviously, it would be my is it stepsister or sister-in-law that's the porn meme?
Stepsister.
Which one is
Washing machine.
Wait, hang on, it's
Stuck in the washing machine.
Which is the
I've
one
climbed
that's
inside
not
the
related
washing
to you?
machine and now I'm
Which
stuck.
is the one
so
that's
fuck
half related
me.
to you by blood versus which is the one that's just by marriage and therefore wouldn't be connected by blood? Which is which?
Stepsister.
I've never thought about blood in that way.
Stepsister is married into, half sister is blood.
We've got a
related.
As in
pornography
in-law.
expert in today, ladies
So
and gentlemen.
in-law would be sharing one parent.
What?
Is a sister-in-law sharing one parent, or is that no? That's the sister of a. That's the
Half-sister,
sister of a
stop.
partner.
What the fuck are you talking? Shut the fuck. Half sister and stepsister. There's the two that are relevant here.
Yeah, you just gotta fuck the bit of your sister that isn't related to you. That's the half bit.
No, I'm just trying to. No, this is about taxonomy. This is an important bit of taxonomy.
John, we're talking about fucking your sister.
This is not about filling your sister up with metal. Oh, fucked it. I was going to taxidermy joke.
You almost had it.
Good
You
night,
almost had
everyone.
it. You almost had it there, Dan. You almost had it.
Almost.
Okay, no. I'm
I
actually
got
going
as far as Philly Sister.
I'm not going to a bit here. I genuinely want to know. There are 3 theoretical groups here. Okay, there is
theoretical.
there is the
Hypothetical groups.
there is the sister of
Yes.
your wife. Say that's one person who you can have a connection with. There is
Sister-in-law.
that's a sister-in-law.
Yes.
Then you have got you have the same one parent but different other parents.
Half sister.
Okay. Then you have got... Wait, who is the other person?
Just your sister, John.
No, then there is your parents have split up, then your parent that you're staying with remarries.
I'm finding out like this?
And the person who marries your parent has a child.
Both my parents?
Someone marries. Shut up! The person who marries into your family only has a child,
John.
but they're
We're not
not
talking about
related.
that.
But they're not related to you by blood in any way. What's that person?
Stepsister.
Are you sure that's a stepsister?
Yes, I'm fucking sure. It's common fucking knowledge, John.
So hang on, it's
common
the
knowledge
same.
to people with Matt's search history.
So are you saying it's the same term for whether you are or aren't related by blood using one parent?
No, we've just established they have 3 different fucking names, John.
Well, hang on. What are the 3?
Sister-in-law,
Wait, so
half-sister,
stepsisters at all?
stepsister.
You're not related to stepsisters at all?
No, he's married in.
Oh, that's ruined pornography for me. Can you
And it's something
actually
gets
stuck
around
in
the
a
fact that
washing
in all
machine?
sorts of countries it would probably be
No.
illegal to make a video of, I assume. Like that's why I assume that's why they do it, right? To get around like censorship
It's
laws.
illegal to pretend, is it? You know, people pretend to do murder.
Yes, do you have any idea how restrictive and ass backwards the extreme pornography bill that's
I
law
feel like
in the
you
UK
should be
is?
in the right place for pornography. If it's ass backwards, then I think you just...
You were too young to remember the extreme pornography bill, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't... It's a weird type of money, that sounds like it was.
No,
Like,
seriously, we have some serious.
pounds to change for the extreme pornography. Oh, God! You know what the value of it is? £69.
They'll stop laughing in a second, but if you live in the UK, just be aware you live under some really restrictive laws related to what is and isn't a crime to watch. It's really weird. Very restrictive.
John's talking about actual legislation.
I am!
69 jokes.
I regret bringing the PodCats back. I regret it.
Well, you have to keep it running, otherwise there'll be an apocalypse of some description.
Yeah. Otherwise the moon will crash into the earth. You know, that's something that's really scares me. I was told once that the moon is very slowly... No, the opposite. The opposite. I'm told the moon's getting further and further away, and eventually it'll just piss off.
John in his garden at night goes, oh, fuck! This isn't Majora's Mask, John.
John, it's moving away by like centimetres a year. It's going to take 1 billion fucking years to fucking be dead by then, John.
Yeah, but what if it happens? If something like happens in like Futurama, I accidentally fall in a freezing pod and I wake up and the moon's gone. Yeah, the moon's fucking gone.
I'm sure there's also bigger problems in 1 billion years than the moon fucking off a bit.
I'm gonna be honest, if I get out of the pod and like society changed by 1 billion years worth, and my first thought is, where's the fucking moon gone? I'll admit, that's probably shouldn't be my main...
The landscape is fucking covered in lava.
I mean, my first thing is me, okay, you know what, I've changed 1 billion years. Can I go outside and see what's changed? Oh, I'm sorry, we're currently we're in lockdown for COVID. So... Sorry, we're in lockdown. Wrote the frozen head of Boris Johnson's put us in lockdown again.
Thank God that the fallout shelter will use British imperial measurements for the rations.
Why do they keep his head frozen?
1 penny of fucking meats, please.
Why?
My car can do 3 horses to the arse. That's the way I likes it.
Why didn't they defrost Boris's head?
Well, they only de-thaw him when he has to make really important decisions to fuck up. Then they have to freeze him again. Otherwise, he's
On
only
the
going to
bright
last for so
side,
long.
you'll get new. If you go to the future like that, you'll get new original Disney films.
Probably not. Eventually, they'll just get into a circle where they just keep remaking the ones they've already remade.
Yeah, but in like, I don't know, in like 20, 30 years, they're going to make a new animated remake of the Aladdin, a live-action film.
Oh, yeah, they'll just go in a circle.
They're just going to
No,
look back and
because
forth.
Disney's
just
frozen. I'm doing a joke about Walt Disney being frozen and woken up with you, and then he's going to make new stuff.
Well, you
It
could have
was a
made that
joke
more
about-
obvious. I feel like you didn't
Yeah,
give
that
us
was a
much of a
very good
lead to
joke.
work
Nah.
with there.
You were talking about cryogenically freezing at Disney. That's why they called Frozen Frozen. So if you Google Disney Frozen, you don't find fucking conspiracy theories about a frozen mustachioed pervert.
You mean Mr. House?
What? Stop talking about Hugh fucking Laurie.
What? It's from Fallout New Vegas.
What, House was in Fallout New Vegas?
He was Odo.
That's a... it's a
Oh,
stretch.
don't place you, Laurie. Well, he's a shapeshifter. That makes sense.
Odo plays House in
He
New
also,
Vegas.
so he's as good as faces as he is American accents then.
And he's dead, isn't he, the guy who voiced House?
I thought you were talking about House
Poor
from
lad.
House, not Mr. I thought Hugh Laurie's name.
I would say
is
fucking...
Hugh Laurie Mr. House in House?
Well, his last name is House, yes.
So he's Mr. House.
No, he's Dr. House.
To his friends, he's probably Mr. House.
No, he's always Dr. House.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
a
we
pun
don't
on
know.
casinos because the house always wins.
No, we're talking about fucking House.
Which one?
I think Dr. House always wins too, so I feel like the idiom still works.
I'm talking about Mr. House from New Vegas.
Does he have lupus?
He also always wins.
It's in a freezer, I don't fucking know.
He's not in a freezer. It's not frozen. It's
thought
just
he
in
was
like
the robot.
just
Who
an
was the
airtight
robot?
He's not a
environment.
robot, he's a real man.
Who was the robot?
What robot?
There was a robot I fucked on
The
with. for being that
Securitrons?
terrible
Victor. Do you
game.
mean Victor?
No, that was a robot. It's like, Matthew Perry's told me to do a thing, but I want to take over the universe.
Yes, man.
Well, that's a different film. What are we chatting about now?
The one that's like, okay,
Can we
pal.
go back to talking about the extreme pornography bill? I was interested. This is the worst podcast. Why have we put it back?
You know what? I'd pay to watch porn on an escalator.
You pay to watch porn on an escalator?
Yeah, like someone...
Oh, Jesus Christ, I hope this is going to a good punchline, because this is
No,
a hell of a
That
Laban.
is setup.
That's a Laban setup. I want to see where this goes. Because where are we going with this, my God? Blow us the fuck away with the punchline to end all punchlines.
No,
I mean, I've got like a long flight, was it, sort of thing brewing, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as close as what we're
Because
about.
this is
no,
Laban.
there's no punchline. There's no joke. I would just love to watch pornography filmed on an escalator.
Oh,
Do you mean like in the London Underground where there's like all those screens
Well,
at the
no,
side?
I
You just
mean,
want to have
that's
like
what I
was thinking.
hardcore
Well, I'm just on
porn.
an escalator and be like,
I thought you were just, you know...
No, I
the
mean
picture
like,
frames
I
going
mean
up
like,
the
you know,
underground.
a man and a woman both on an escalator that's going up, and he has to come inside her before it gets to the top.
Oh, that's like porn with tension.
Yeah, otherwise they'll fall over.
It's like 24.
So you want to see live action porn being performed on escalators?
No, I want it to be filmed. I want someone to go to fucking Sega World, get on the big rocket elevator escalator, take the fucking clothes off, flop the cock out, get on with it, and then he has to deal with his business before he gets to the top. And if he doesn't,
No,
he
you
dies.
you've missed a trick there.
is he
Surely,
like-
surely
why
the
is
trick
he
should be they've got to be doing it while moving down the escalator, so they don't get to the top. Then it's actually quite an interesting athletic acrobatic endeavour.
No, because if they get to the top, you basically have no floor at the top. So if they don't finish by the time they get to the top, they fall off and die.
I thought you meant like porn, like on those pictures you get on the London Underground, like the posters
Yeah.
that are animated. And I thought like
Okay,
a cop
I
would
just
start
want you
on
to
one
know,
and it would
Matt.
just carry on.
Matt, I
up
just want
4
you
or
to
5
know.
of them.
The sort of pornography where people are being filmed engaged in sex in a situation where their life is being threatened if they somehow fail, that would definitely be covered by the extreme pornography bill.
Well, that's
That's a crime.
That is why we are going to New Zealand.
Are we going to invade it? Matt's gone. Oh well, Matt's gone.
You know, I did want to check. The Belgium only has like 80,000 people in its entire armed forces. I think if we just merged our communities, we could take it.
Yeah, anyone up for it?
Yeah, I think we could have Belgium. I've always wanted to take over like one of the Netherlands.
Well, I don't think our fan bases are going to be that good at invading a country, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but they can infiltrate it before they start rising up.
No, we gotta be clear here. Your audience are mainly middle-aged history buffs, right? Let's be honest, middle-aged history buffs with nothing
This
better
is
to do.
very untrue.
No, middle-aged history buffs with nothing better to do, who are like, oh shit, let's go invade Belgium, but I can't.
I found woman crouching on an escalator, erotic pantyhose.
Are you actually...
MILF in
He's actually on Pornhub.
Pussy on public escalator.
He's actually on
That was
Pornhub.
actually fun. Oh yeah, there's some people fucking on an escalator. It's already been done.
Yay! Well, that's what...
Yeah, okay, has my
stuff
more
at night,
interesting concept of they have to be walking down the escalator while having sex, they don't get to the top been done. Where
The problem with that is if you fall...
Yeah.
Oh, my hilarious.
Well, you have to obviously you'll have to sign a waiver before you do it.
You don't want to
promising
get
you
your
won't
pubes
sue
caught in the
anybody.
end bit. You know where it takes the stairs away underneath.
How
You wouldn't
long
wanna
are
get-
your fucking pubes?
Depends what position you're in.
What, you've got your cock right on the floor?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
really.
It's called a callback, Matthew.
That was a good callback.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
this entire section's dumb as shit, but that was a good callback.
This entire podcast is dumb as shit.
Way, welcome to the podcast.
Anyway, gaming news. So,
Deathloop came out.
I played it.
Me neither.
John, do you want to talk about it while we recover?
I want to talk about one thing in particular, which is it's got the most baffling difficulty spike I've ever seen in a game outside of the launching the nukes in Fallout 76. Where the entire game went from follow the cursor to solve a puzzle that no one explains that's incredibly convoluted. Which is, Deathloop's got a really...
Sorry, John, just wait. You said that with the implication that we've both played Fallout 76 to completion.
Dan has played Fallout 76.
Not to
haven't launched
completion.
Well, Chinook, me and John launched Chinook, I think. Or
I
we got
don't
one
watch
by
that fucking series. I don't want to deal with Fallout 76.
I think, yeah, for the general audience, John, you're going to need a better example of something that's a difficulty spike in a game.
Okay, let me tell you what's happened. So Deathloop's got a 2 to 3 hour long tutorial, which I think is a little bit overlong, where it very much it holds your hand and tells you precisely what to do. Basically, the first loop or two, in fact, the first 2 loops is extremely guided, and the game just says go here, do this. It's plot heavy, it's setup heavy, and you have much less freedom. But after you've done the bit that the game wants you to do in the area as part of these first 2 loops, it says, okay, now go to the exit, go to the next area, but if you want to explore, you can do. So when it did that, it's like, okay, so I'm going to just have a bit of a loopsy round because I want to learn the levels because we know we're going to be coming back here. This game specifically said, you're going to be coming back here later. And I found a puzzle. And I thought, okay, this is the first puzzle in the game I've come across. It's in the starting area, and you could very easily come across it while you were doing the tutorial.
Come across, for fuck's sake!
No, I refuse. I enjoy certain phrases.
And I'm just sitting there being like, I'm being good. I'm letting him have it, but if he does it one more time...
What? You come across a map, okay?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The map has got 6 points marked on it, so you have to go and find them in the 6 numbers.
That's not like
Remembering...
John?
Yes?
Did you know you could have curved escalators?
What? Yeah.
Ah, neat.
Sorry. Matt's so bored he's now looking up photos from Escalator World. He's booking a trip.
Sorry, go on, John. I was listening.
Okay,
Here you go,
if you
John.
had to
This
remember...
is the bit everybody really listens to this for.
If you had to remember 6 numbers attached to 6 arbitrary points on a map, didn't you be able to do it? I think you'd have to write it all down. Because I had to write it down in an envelope.
I can't remember how you started the sentence, John.
Exactly. So write it all down. So you think, okay, so now I've got 6 numbers, and I've got these points on a map. So you go back, but the safe only needs 3 numbers to open, but you've got 6. So scratch next to the map are 3 triangles. The triangles are randomly generated each time you play and each loop you make. And you've got to superimpose the triangles by eye into where between 6 spots they would fit. And you can't trace them or anything. You've just got to do it by eye. Once you've figured out which corresponds to which, so now you've got 9 points, 9 numbers, you have 6 numbers and 3 triangles, then you have to figure out how you get 1 number from each triangle, because the game doesn't tell you what order the triangles are in, or what marks of the triangles indicate things, but 1 number from each of the triangles needs to be used to offer a safe, and this isn't the tutorial! And the reward of the safe is shit! It's just
Hang on, I should have had this overlaid in the background. Oh, it's not working. Oh, it is.
It's insane. What's happening? What was that?
That's the Krypton Factor theme.
Oh, okay. It's been a
do you
long
think it
time since
was?
I've watched Krypton Factor.
You know what? I watch it every day.
I don't know, I assumed you were loading up some elevator porn.
If it's got music that good, I'd watch pornography.
It's something it does. The 80s stuff does.
The 80s stuff?
Yep. Vintage.
80s is
Vintage muff.
vintage muff.
I tell you what, I think in
a
some
phrase.
ways elevator porn might be more interesting than escalator porn, because elevator porn you get elevator music.
Just jump over any porn.
Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Too many dadas in it. I think it adds a bit of an element.
Yeah.
I'm not keen
Well,
on
it's
it.
a stepdad thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember
also
the elevators in GoldenEye 007 on the N64 where they contained jazzy music remixes of the Bond themes?
No.
At the beginning of each of every level, you just go to step in the elevator and be like do 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 do. It's great. It's really lovely.
I like that.
It's really
That was
nice.
amazing.
Yeah.
Give it another standing ovation.
There we go. You see, I just like to watch 2 people having sex to that. It just feels like, it just...
You know the bit at the start of the theme where like he walks along? You could do that from like through the end of a knob hole, couldn't you? And then he could just spaff on him.
What?
And then just white goes down the screen.
Oh.
I need to point out, John very proudly said to me, and I'm going to quote the phrase exactly, this was in a private conversation, I want to have sex in the big glass cube.
I do.
What?
True. We found at some point, like, we were looking at, like, just for fun, I was looking up property in Liverpool in case, me and Matt wanted to buy a big house together, and I found a house with a massive glass cube on top of it, and I just wanted to...
It's a fucking octagon!
Yeah, it was a weird octagon, but it had a glass cube on top of it, and I want to have sex in the glass cube. And I still do. I feel like this is a legitimate thing
and then
to
you
want
can
to
install
do.
an escalator.
Just buy
inside
a
the
fish
glass
tank,
cube.
John.
This isn't Sega World, man. Let's not go crazy.
It's a fucking octagon house.
Octagon house.
Just buy a fish tank. Turn it upside down.
It's not big enough.
Buy a big one then. Just buy a big fish tank.
That's the saddest thing I can imagine. You just think, what I want to do is I want to have a massive penthouse right by the River Mersey where I can have a decadent sexual experience. And I said, well, I can't afford that, so I'm going to buy a fish tank, put it over my head and have a sad wank. And have a sad, lonely wank in the dark with a fish tank over my head
Just
while
gravel cascading over your sweaty body.
pretending I'm in Liverpool.
Hey, whatever gets you off,
The
mate.
saddest thing I've ever heard.
Ferry Costa Mersey's playing in the background. But like a Muzak version. Like the...
Just put on some Beatles, it's great.
I enjoyed that the gaming discussion lasted all of 5 seconds.
Oh, God.
Before we just wandered away from it.
I don't play games. I haven't played any games.
You haven't played any games?
Have you played The Forgotten City?
The Rome one?
Yeah, it's a better time loop game.
It's the Skyrim mod turned into a full-scale game. And,
Yes.
The city is dissolving in some way and everyone's going to die and you have to solve things and get home or something.
Yeah, but it's actually quite clever. It does
No, I've
interesting
never,
stuff
I've
with
never
the
heard
time
of it,
loop.
John.
What?
Never heard of it. Never heard of it, John.
How
I've
much of it
never
have you
heard of it
played?
I haven't played any of it. I just know about you give me a title of a video game, I'll be like, that, and I'll tell you exactly everything about it.
What was it called?
The Forgotten City.
The Forgotten City.
Wait, did you just describe the Forgotten Island game?
No, Forgotten City. What? No, it's Forgotten City. I know about Forgotten City.
Right.
Used
No,
to be
it's
a Skyrim
actually,
mod,
it's,
they
it's
converted it into a game.
actually it's actually very clever, and you can the game doesn't lead you to it, but you can find dumb ways to time paradox yourself out of the scenario.
Yeah.
It actually
I've got it on my watch
rewards
list,
you.
yeah.
It actually rewards you being clever and having to think about ways you could do things.
Oh, the
in a way
best time
that
loop game, obviously.
yeah.
I'm pointing at Daniel.
He's pointing at me. I am the best time travel game.
No, you know what the best time loop game is.
Best time loop game.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's
the
not
best
12 minutes.
I haven't played it. I hear it's abysmal.
It's the thing is, it's worth playing just because they got Willem Dafoe to be the bad guy, and he clearly just sat down and thought, well, he just read the script and thought, well, this is kind of shit, so I'm just going to chew the scenery. And it's just, it's just full on a scenery chewing Willem Dafoe growling, gravelly evil lines. It's worth it kind of just for that.
Sounds fun.
And then they also hired Daisy Ridley and
May Cooper. Oh.
James
was,
McAvoy.
Anakin Skywalker's daughter.
Yeah. They
No,
got
that's not
the
that.
weirdest thing is, they got McAvoy and Ridley in, and then they somehow directed them or changed their voices in post processing. So if you didn't know it was them, you would not know. So why the fuck did you just play James McAvoy money to make him not recognizably James McAvoy?
John, I think they just give them American accents. I think that's what throws it.
But it's so weird. Why are you paying film star money if you don't want the voice to be recognizable?
Because you wanted an American story, but you wanted to get people who were hot, so you paid the money so you can put on the poster that Daisy Ridley's in it to add some sort of connection that your game's worth listening to.
Maybe.
Cynicism, John.
It feels like a strange thing too, because they didn't do that with Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe, they said get him in the booth and make him Willem Dafoe at volume 11 straight into the microphone.
Maximum Dafoe.
Make him just get in there and just growl Dafoe threats at them. It's going to be great.
Growl Dafoe is an amazing French actor.
Yeah.
John agreeing once again.
Here's the question. I saw a thread on Reddit yesterday, which
Yes.
bad
Not questioned, but carry on.
So, do you think Nick Cage would have worked in Keanu Reeves' place in Cyberpunk
In Cyberpunk,
as Johnny Silverhand? Do you think Nick Cage could have done the role?
I think he
Yes.
would have blended in with the glitches better.
He would have.
I think instead of having a gleaming pile of 1 point of singular excellence, you would have had something else that was broken and half thought about and maybe amazing, but also maybe trash. If anything, I think he's built for the role.
Okay, speaking of swapping in one character for another.
Oh, there we go. It's mostly.
The greatest sadness that we didn't do the MCU in, like, say, the 80s and 90s.
That's not the greatest sadness, but carry on.
Rick Moranis as Bruce Banner.
Do you know what the MCU is?
But yes, that's
Bruce
why
Banner
I
is
asked
Batman. Come on, John! Matt, confirm you're a big Batman fan. Bruce Banner is, of course. Oh my god. I can serve up a fucking setup, but if he doesn't hit it back to me, what boosts the punchline? What uses the punchline?
Okay, fine. Batman.
Oh, I don't give a shit anymore. You've really... You took the wind out of my sails.
Why isn't Rick Moranis Bruce Banner? He would have been amazing as Bruce
Because he's
Banner.
dead, John.
Only if he turned into the big plant
Is
when he
he?
got angry. He's not
No,
dead.
he's not.
No, he was
died.
bashed over the head the other day.
He's
No,
died.
he's not.
No, he died.
Might have
No,
died
he's not. His
in a month.
Wikipedia page says he's alive.
Oh, he's alive, but he's dead.
He's live, but he's dead, John. I think Matt's lost the plot, so we're going to ignore him and carry on.
He's 68 years old and he's fine.
Yeah, he's lovely. I like Rick Moranis.
He's not in any films, though. He's dead film-wise.
Wow. Bit harsh.
He gives me nothing. He might as well be fucking dead.
It's like his
He
career's
did
dead.
the voice of Brother Bear 2. Straight to DVD sequel to Brother Bear just...
Sorry, was there a character called
just
Brother Bear 2?
15 years ago?
Whoa, John. That sounds like a perfectly alive career.
He got blown by the head, didn't he? Somebody bashed him by the head recently. That's all I know. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, shit, it's the dogs.
Oh, God, the dogs are back. Oh, God. Dogs have wandered in. We had peace. There was peace with the dog people for a briefest time.
You know what? I think Rick Moranis had the right idea. Rick Moranis made a fuck ton of money doing some of the biggest films in the late 80s and early 90s, and then he just presumably thought, I've got more money than I could ever spend. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother working anymore. I'm just going to have a really, really nice life now. So long.
I have a question for you, John.
Yes.
You've seen Little Shop of Horrors, I would assume.
Yes, of course.
What's
Not for a
the
long
ending?
time. So don't give me the fucking the 24601 on it. But
I wouldn't give you the 39812 on it. What's the ending?
it depends. The original ending that
see.
almost I don't know is you can even see anymore was a very negative ending where the plants took over the world and everyone died. The ending that's more commonly circulated, I believe, I assume, includes on all the DVDs and whatever, as a happier ending where they get married, but it turns out there's a little tiny Audrey 3 in their garden, so maybe there'll be another big Audrey in the future.
Yeah, see, I had a big argument at one point that I hated that film because I was like, it's too saccharine, the ending's shit, and somebody's like, what? The ending's great. And for the longest time, somebody very close to me believed that I thought that plants taking over the human race and wiping them out was a saccharine ending and didn't fucking question it because I didn't know there was an on an ending.
Yeah, there are two endings to that film. The ending, it is kind of, possibly it's the best example in all of film history of where you've got two endings and they could not be further apart from each other. In one ending, everybody's dead and humanity falls. In the other ending, there's a lovely wedding and they go to an idyllic house together. And those are the endings.
Clue.
Clue?
Clue's got more diverse ending.
Oh, okay. Tell me what the alternative endings of Clue are.
Got like 4, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's four. There's 4 endings. Or 3 or 4. Somebody else did it.
That's it. It's got a different
And
ending per person.
they showed different ones depending on what theater you were in. So nobody really knew who did it.
Is this a joke or is this actually
No, it's
true?
genuinely
This is true.
true.
Have you not seen Clue?
No,
in
no.
the
Fucking incredible
in the
film.
version that's on Prime, I think it's still on Prime, it has all 4
Yeah,
endings after back
the
to back.
DVDs and stuff will just show you all of them, which includes one ending where everybody did it.
Makes sense, yeah.
But it's what's his face?
You've always got to love one of those in a murder mystery where it's the dumb twist where it turns out, yes, like 6 different people tried to kill him, but he was already dead, so 5 of them just did it to a corpse without realising.
Yeah.
You always got to love that ending.
Yeah, it's in that sort of vein.
Do you like doing it to a corpse, John?
What?
Matt said something about doing it to a corpse. It's what's his face? It's Tim Curry. Tim Curry's in Clue, and he's as amazing as Tim Curry always is.
We're going about to like Tim Curry's pretty much sold me on it already.
Yeah,
Tim Curry's great.
I'd like to refer to it as maximum Tim Curry.
Yeah,
it's very camp. It's very silly. Isn't Christopher Lloyd in it as well?
I'm gonna check.
Something else like that is in it, and it's one of my all-time favorite films. It's very big and broad and silly. If you've not seen Clue, that's the PodCats film recommendation of the month is Clue, 1984. Five.
It was on Prime. It was on Prime. It's not on Prime.
Oh.
It does have Christopher Lloyd in it.
It does have Christopher Lloyd in it, yeah.
And Michael McKean.
And
Martin Mull.
Martin, whoever that is. And just keep reading names.
Don't know.
Leslie Ann Warren.
Leslie Ann Warren, who could forget?
And Ellie.
Oh, that's enough. So, that's kind of different.
You know what I love about Tim Curry in particular? Tim Curry will take money to do anything.
Yeah.
It does not matter how shit it is. If you're willing to pay Tim Curry money, Tim Curry's on for the ride.
Yeah, but he doesn't phone it in.
Absolutely. He'll always give 110%, but he'll just show up in the most random shit. Like Lex, a really low rent, awful, sleazy sci-fi series from the 90s. He just shows up in the third episode and sings a song for no well-explained reason. Awful Power Rangers knockoff, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. He voices the main villain, and he fucking gives it 110%.
Yeah, Tim Curry is a legend.
Also, I was just double-checking I was remembering it with the right awful Power Rangers knockoff. I noticed that the Wikipedia page for Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad rather ill-advisedly suggests that the TV series, because it was they began all letters with an S, decided it should be abbreviated to SSSS. It's like, no, it shouldn't. You shouldn't. You shouldn't abbreviate the Power Rangers knockoff to the SSSS. No, you shouldn't. That's a shit idea.
Call it Quad S. Get around it.
Yeah, that's fine.
What?
4XS.
4XS?
Yeah.
You add an X. What's the X for?
Times.
Times what?
Good old Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Time. What's happening? What's he talking about a newspaper for?
Something.
Why don't you just have a G in it for the fucking Guardian? What's happening?
You know, I have an absolute love of really, really bad, cheap Power Rangers knockoffs that just all came out in such hurry in the 90s when someone realised, shit, Power Rangers is making so much money and it's so cheap to make, which is why it's making so much money. Could we make an even cheaper Power Rangers?
Fan of Pacific Rim, then?
And they just bought the cheapest shit they could. Anything they could get their hands on that already had the giant monster bits filmed, and then just put together the cheapest shit. Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, VR Troopers, tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. That one was perhaps the cheapest of all. That one was real.
I know, I'm aware, but I'm a big fan of classic Godzilla films and stuff like that. I love old big monster films. Have you seen the original 1954 Godzilla?
Not the whole thing, but I've seen like clips of it.
You should genuinely watch that because it genuinely holds up. There's one or two little wobbly special effects, and for some fucking reason they gave him googly eyes. But apart from that, it is genuinely a really good. And the second film, massive piece of shit. Immediately, it's just the worst. Shot the same year. It's like they do the whole they slow the footage down so the monsters look more like they're fighting and big. In this one, they speed it up because they accidentally filmed the whole fight scene at the wrong frame rate, so they just make it go faster.
Yeah.
I
love it when you can spot like dumb shit where they couldn't be bothered to refilm it, so you just end up with really bad editing tricks.
Oh, they've done it so many times.
My favourite is in Batman and Robin. They had Robin emerging from the water when he's been drowned, but they clearly wanted him to be pulled back underwater by Poison Ivy's vines, but they didn't have the shot, so they just have him emerging. Then they reverse the footage, so the splash undoes itself, and that went to cinema. That's the full version that's actually the real version that still exists.
In Polybius Eyes, there's a sneaky bit where you'll see that me reverses time and everybody else in the shot doesn't because I break and start pissing myself laughing. Because of Eli says the word corn and it was a funny ad-lib.
Can I
and
just
you'll
take a
notice
second
I
to
reverse.
just be really angry about a really dumb, non-important point from a Power Rangers ripoff from the
Oh, fuck
late
it, let's
1990s?
go. Yeah, I was just talking about shit I was involved with and put a lot of work into.
Okay,
Oh,
so in
I fucking
Tattooed
know.
Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, right? The way they
Right.
become their knockoff Power Rangers ripoffs is they say a particular word, all right? The word of their spirit, whatever thing, all right?
Babushka.
Okay,
Oh,
so the
what did you go
first,
for?
but they all have their own
Come on,
one.
I went for
All right,
Babushka.
so the first woman stands up and she says Scorpio. So okay, I think we'll see what we go. Second guy comes in and he says Taurus. Like okay, I see what you're doing here. I wonder what's going to come next. Third guy comes up, Centaur. It's like what?
Yep.
Why did you just say Centaur? The fourth guy just runs straight in and says, Apollo! It's like, what? Hang on! That's not even remotely! Hang the fuck on! You come back here! Why did the first two just say zodiac signs, then you went off into Centaur, then Apollo? What the fuck is happening?
They're just naming themselves after gladiators from Gladiator.
I will
That's
never
the second
recover
Gladiators reference in
emotionally
this
from the
podcast.
fact that in Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, two of them are zodiac signs, and then are they all constellations? Is that what's going on? Is
Apollo
Centaur
is
and
a
Apollo a
constellation.
constellation?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Yeah,
I
they
don't
are,
care.
actually.
It could be. Holy shit, have I just answered my own question?
Oh my
Hang on.
god. Oh my goodness. Sit back down at this Comic Con, John. You are
Apollo
done.
constellation. I need to figure out if there's an Apollo
Apollo's a
constellation.
constellation. I'm not sure about Centaur.
No, there's not.
Oh.
There is not a common constellation referred to as Apollo. So okay, it's not it. That's it. It's
Well,
fine.
Apollo was the
still
spaceships.
shit.
We've got our rockets we send up there. That's the Apollo missions, and they're in space.
It's true.
What, Centaur? Do we send centaurs up as well?
No, they can't fly. That's unicorns you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The special thing about Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, if I may just continue on this highly
Yeah, fuck
topic,
it.
is
Everyone
for once
left when we
they
started
didn't
about
just
Deathloop.
buy the Japanese footage; they recorded the whole thing themselves. So they just put the people in leotards and then just like put tiny like fake tiny trees to make it look like they were big now, and that was it. That was the entire thing. They just put on really shitty spandex leotards and they just fought a monster wearing a shitty plastic costume. And just punched him a bit in a really, really bad set with just some fake tiny trees, and that was the entire show.
And you claim
great.
this was one of your favourites.
Well, this is my favourite insofar as it's demonstrably the worst one.
I think we're exposing John in the PodCats. I think that's why people like it. We chip away at that marble exterior that you've got.
Let me get his cock out.
No, could you stop saying get his cock out?
Get your cock out.
You can't
John?
get the... no, as we've established, I'm a
John?
Victorian ghost, so how would you do
Yeah.
said thing? Haha, checkmate.
Why
Victoria
have
Ghost has a cock.
why are all ghosts from the Victorian era?
A lot of people died due to the fact there wasn't vaccination. Get
There's a lot-
vaccinated, kids!
There was a lot less people.
You see, we got a real good public service announcement information thing in there.
I
Good.
don't think that was great. At one point, I said I was anti-vax in this, and nobody stopped me on it. So
I also said I got a blood clot from Vax.
yeah, we've basically ruined the whole vaccination thing. But if you're not vaccinated by now, you're probably already dead.
Yeah.
So where's those ghosts? Where's the anti-vaxxer ghosts moping around hospitals?
Like,
Well, they're going to show up in like a century and a half.
Well, you have to
Clearly
wait a
there's been a
century
late-
and a half.
Clearly, there's a bit of latency. That's why all the Victorian ghosts are showing up now.
Well, then where does all the Victorian ones go? Why do they fade away?
Maybe they just get displaced. It's like
What era were
gentrification with
ghosts?
ghosts.
What era? Because the thing is, if you read Ghost Story from the Victorian era, they're Victorian ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good point.
This is actually by far my most interesting favourite plot point in The Forgotten City, by the way. There's a whole big subplot about ghost gentrification. Where there's just one underworld, but like when a civilization falls away, like a new civilization rides up and then they all start dying, then all the new ghosts come down and be like, well, we're now gonna rebuild the underworld to be more like we want, and all the old ghosts like, wow, rude. And there's genuine ghost underworld gentrification
He's
as a
finally
plot
got to the
point.
classics.
It's really fun.
Classics.
It's really fun. It's such a fun idea.
Weren't you going to make a rule that John couldn't talk about classics?
Well, he was already talking about teenage bikini vampire waitresses, whatever it
Hardly
was.
classics.
I mean, that's
Now
a classic.
that would be even better than Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills.
Attack of the Killer Bikini Vampire something girls. What is that word that goes in there in that title?
You're getting dangerously close to that really, really bad mock horror film with James Corden right now, and anything that's too close to James Corden, I'm worried
Teenage
about.
Vampire Killers or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, Lesbian Vampire Killers or something.
Oh, see, mine was a parody from Red Dwarf.
Although possibly I'm getting confused with Lesbian Vampire Lovers of Lust, which was one of the Dr. Terrible's House of Horrible
You know
sketches.
a suspiciously large amount of really bad entertainment. Yeah, a suspiciously little amount about anything valuable.
That's what a degree in classics
What
is.
gave it away was the fact I'm a classicist.
Yeah, it's just like, well.
John, I think that people of all classes should be able to live together happily, unlike you classist. One of my favourite in the time since the last. Of course he does. He's not listening. In the time since the last one of these podcasts, my favourite podcast that I actually listened to, We Hope It's Chips finished, and they had a segment that I'm now going to steal that was cunt or not a cunt, and every week they would pick a celebrity, and they would decide if they were a cunt or not a cunt.
Is this the big finale of the first episode of the PodCats?
I think this is just a bit so we can recover.
Just a plagiarized thing where we're just going to call someone a cunt. That's how you're gonna do the big finale.
Or not a cunt. If
or
we,
not
if we
a cunt.
disagree.
Yeah,
okay, so
fine.
let's do it.
Okay,
First episode.
yeah.
James Corden, cunt or not a cunt?
Cunt.
Cunt. Okay, well that's the end of cunt or not a cunt.
Right, thank you very much for joining us in the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be back.
Is there anything else? Anything else we want to talk about? Matt's taking his headset off, so he's done. That's just fucked up.
Matt's done.
I take it off the entire time. What is fucking...
Matt's not been listening at all.
We have to do a No More Jockey special of this.
Oh, we're going to do a no... Matt, John, do you watch No More Jockeys?
What?
No More Jockeys. It was No More Women. I
I like
played
jockeys. What's wrong with jockeys?
On the There's a Bus, we played No More Women, which has now been rebranded as No More Jockeys. It's Tim Key, Mark Watson, and Alex Horn. And it's the rule.
I think I've just mentally blocked out everything that happened on that bus, I'm going to be honest. It took a lot of therapy, but I've got past
John,
it.
you went on that fucking 24-hour plane ride.
That
No,
was
it wasn't,
amazing.
thank fuck. You didn't even invite me, so I didn't have to make an excuse.
Yeah,
It was
because
great.
you work human times?
Yeah.
You're fucking impossible. Any other YouTuber, I'm like, we got to film this. It'll be at 3:14 a.m. And they're like, fuck it. Yeah, all right, I'll be there.
Yeah.
John, he's got a fucking pencil
Did you
in.
hear John's taking Mondays off?
You're
Yeah,
taking
take Mondays
Mondays
off.
off.
Oh, he's taking a
Whoa.
day off.
How long was the video where you announced that?
Like
10
6 minutes.
But it's a sentence, John.
Yeah. Look, that's...
That little sign. Yeah. That acknowledgement of self.
As soon as this podcast is over, I'm gonna start to see if I can figure out with Matt if we can release these things on a Monday, so I've got something to go back on the Monday slot again. Yeah.
Oh dear, we're not recording them that often, are we? Fucking hell.
No, not every Monday. That's a once a month thing, which we should have said at the beginning. 'Cause we just didn't bother explaining any of it.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
fine.
sure I did say it was once a month at one point in
I
this.
can't remember if you did. No.
I can't
don't think
remember.
you- I
I've
don't
stopped
remember.
listening. I think we're just going to start looping topics in a bit. Thanks for listening, everybody. That final segment was cunt or not a cunt, and nothing happened after it, and we didn't edit anything out. Bye!
Bye.